that for you as well. But again, as we were saying, full season of broadcast for you here. Football, we are broadcasting the basketball season as well. As a matter of fact, some of the sponsors that are on board are already in for basketball as well. So we are already ahead of that. But we do have room for you. If you're thinking to yourself, hey, I want to broadcast or I want to be part of that broadcast and support that home team, we've got room for you. I think we got room for maybe 5 or 6 more, and that's about it. So need to get a hold of us, and we'll get you taken care of. Call me if you want to. I'll make sure we get you a great deal. There you go. All right, Coach. Tahlequah Tigers. We talked about Fort Gibson. Let's talk about the Tigers a little bit. We are predominantly a running team. However, over the last couple of years or so, when we do go to the air, it's usually pretty successful.
Yeah. Well, we had Caden Aldridge at quarterback, and Caden was very flexible in the running game and or the passing game. Ran the option extremely well. Well, he's gone. So now we're coming back. Our field general, new quarterback, is going to be a young man by the name of Tate Christian tonight. Tate is the son of assistant coach Brandon Christian. He's a 6'3", 190-pound junior.
Wow.
They say he's got the skills to be able to put the ball down the field. Just don't know how much of it we'll see tonight.
Okay. It's going to be an interesting night. Obviously, we're looking forward to getting this kickoff going. And we're going to have a great time bringing it to you here on Lakes Country 102.1. And again, thank you to the sponsors. Our producer back at the studios tonight is Megan Zibelman. She is a Northeastern State University college student in the marching band, so she has a love for the music that's out there being played now because she played music at Tahlequah High School, so this is her alma mater playing tonight. And also under the direction of John Haynes, our sports director, and also our night guy, who also will have the coaches or the game wrap-up, the Lakes Country wrap-up coming after this game is over tonight, so that is on the way. Any last thoughts? What do you expect to see right off the bat?
Well, I believe the Tigers won the toss is what I heard. We were both distracted when it happened out there, and I never did really see the official turn them around until the very last minute. I do know that we're defending the south end zone to begin with, and Fort Gibson will be defending the north end zone. So we're going to go from our left to right and Fort Gibson right to left, and hopefully the Tigers can band themselves up defensively and put a stop on Fort Gibson.
All right, we're looking for a great game tonight. We'll get ready for it. I'm going to stand in the doorway because it's probably the coolest spot in this room, LZ. Stick your head out the window. So Fort Gibson Tigers, again, white uniforms, orange numbers, orange and black trim, the orange helmets. Fort Gibson Tigers in their white or red jerseys with white numbers and white pants and helmets. And they're coming out setting up to kick off. And we're getting ready to go here. 12 minutes on the clock. Are you ready to get the season underway, Coach?
I am. Looks like Day-Day Leathers is deep for the Tigers, and I believe that may be Simeon Armstrong back there with him deep. So Tigers have two good, very good running backs back there to receive the opening kickoff.
Get ready for Day-Day Leathers. You're going to hear his name a lot tonight on runs. Ready to tow it up. Number 19 for Fort Gibson is Zan Hazen. Here's the signal. 12 minutes on the clock. Ready for the kick. He's going to go high and short to the far side of the field. Caught at about the 26-yard line, out to the 30, out to the 40, and wrestled down and out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. A nice little 12-yard return right there by the Tahlequah Tigers. And I'm still trying to get his number. That is number 52 on the reception and return. That is Justin Hitchcock picking up 12 yards and setting us up at the 41-yard line. That's number 32, I'm sorry. 32 was Carson Ferguson on the catch. Good eye, Coach.
Carson is a 155-pound sophomore kid. So we're going to get to see, this is another thing that we're going to see out of the Tigers tonight. We've still got some young kids going to make an impact here.
All right, from the 41-yard line in their own territory, 1st and 10, 2 receivers left, 1 back set to the left and behind the receiver, man in motion from right to left at the line. The snap is low. Handoff coming around the near side, turns the corner, crowd across the 40, the 45, 50, he broke one loose, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown on the opening play, number 20, Day-Day Leathers, 5'7", 150-pound junior.
59-yard touchdown by Day-Day. First snap.
Told you to watch for this young man. He was going to break something loose, and we're on the board early, 6-0 lead, 11:42 to go in the first quarter of play. I know that microphone was hot. I'll turn that down for Megan back there. She was probably turning that slide pot all the way down. Wow.
Got a couple of nice blocks by the offensive line to turn the corner right there. The lead blocker, number 44, Johnny Fuentes, got a good hit right there and busted leathers open.
Tanner Christian to tow it up and through the uprights, and it looks good. It is good. It's a 7-0 game. 11:42 to go in the first quarter of play. We're going to take our first 30-second timeout from these great sponsors and come right back. Tahlequah Tigers lead at 7-0 on Lakes Country 102.1.
Only played 18 seconds. I hope we'll get to do that live.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Kelly along with LZ Miller. Day Leathers 59-yard opening first down.
And only 18 seconds into the season opener.
Takes it the length of the field. Puts 6 on the board. Tanner Christian, wide receiver, defensive back, 6'4", 475-pounder, tows it up through the uprights, makes it 7-0. Fort Gibson Tigers set to kick it off to the Tahlequah Tigers set to kick it off to the Fort Gibson Tigers. Here in just a moment.
That's the other son. Tanner Christian is the other son of Brandon Christian, one of the Tiger assistant football coaches.
All right, we're ready to kick it off. Gives the hand signal. Here he goes, and he'll go deep down the middle, all the way back to about the 9-yard line. Caught there out to the 15, the 20, wrapped up, broke loose at the 30, out to the 35, wrapped up, and down he goes at about the 39-yard line. Finally tackled by number 21, I believe it is. That was
Jesse Rudd on the carry for Fort Gibson. Number 21 would be Aiden Crane for Tahlequah.
Number 4 on the carry. Brings it all the way out to the 39-yard line. So a 29-yard return sets up the Fort Gibson Tigers at their own 39 for the 1st and 10. And it's way early. 11:33 on the clock in the first. It's 7-0 Tahlequah. All right, so waiting for them in the huddle. Tahlequah sets up in the 5-man front for the defense. Looks like a 5-4-2 zone here. Fort Gibson Tigers with 6-man front. Strong to the right side. 2 receivers left. Tight end to the left. Moon motion left to right. 1 single back. Gets the handoff. Number 4 hits the line of scrimmage. Gets across it a couple of yards. And a nice ankle tackle. Number 78 had him wrapped up right there and did a good job of pulling him down. Or maybe that's 79.
79 is Jaron Proctor for Tigers.
Proctor, a 5'10", 250-pound sophomore. There you were talking about some of the younger players who are going to get in the action of this game. We got a big line and a smart line this year, according to head coach Brad Gilbert.
Gain of 4 on the play. We're going to bring up a 2nd down and 6.
Up under center, 1 single back set, 2 receivers to the right. Loose tight end on the right side, another handoff, number 4. He turns upfield, cuts the other way, gets wrapped up at about the 45 and out to about the 47. I think he's a yard short of the first down, but picked up another 5.
Day Leathers making the stop for Tahlequah right there.
They'll place the ball at the 48-yard line. Need to get to the 49 for a first down, so 1 yard to go. We have a 3rd and 1 for Fort Gibson. 10:32 first quarter, 7-0 Tahlequah. If you're just joining us, welcome to the broadcast with the Tahlequah Tigers at Fort Gibson. Up under center. Split receivers, 1 to either side. Again, number 4 gets the handoff. He breaks across the line, across midfield to the 45, down to the 47. Needed 1 and got about 8 yards and picked up a first down to the Tahlequah 43.
Number 45, Zach Fuentes making the stop for the Tigers there, Lou. Tigers got good off our defensive line penetration, but he just ran through the hole.
He turned sideways and just cut upfield. Kind of running we saw last year, and the kind of running we see Day Leathers do this year. Fort Gibson Tigers, 3-4 plays in, they're moving the football. 1st and 10 from the Tahlequah 43. Receiver to either side of the field. Quarterback up underneath the center, one single back set, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, little screen pass. He's wrapped up and taken out of bounds immediately. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage.
Carson Ferguson again hit him immediately as he caught the ball.
Stayed right with him as he rolled out from the tight end position. Quarterback rolled out that way, and he was smart enough not to go to the quarterback, just stay on that tight end. As soon as he caught it, he wrapped him up. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10 for the Fort Gibson Tigers with 9:51 to go in the first. You are listening to this game on Lakes Country 102.1 KEOK Tahlequah. 2nd down and 10 from the Tahlequah 43. Man in motion from right to left. The handoff, number 21 goes over the right side tackle and gets wrapped up and taken back down. He breaks the tackle, gets across the 35 down to all the way to the 30-yard line before being wrapped up again. How he broke loose of that, I'll never know. That was number 1 on the carry. That's Codell Ford. Maybe that was 21, I'm sorry. No, that was number 1. Wide receiver, defensive back. I stand corrected. That was number 21. One was the receiver who came across the field. Hey, they even confused me.
Taven Woodworth, the running back right there.
Handoff again. This time comes around the left side. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Tripped up and gets back on his feet. And gets wrapped up all the way down to the 25-yard line. But he was staggering to get that 3 or 4 or 5 yards. 21 again on the carry there is Tavion Woodworth. He was hit on the left end of the line.
Tigers hit him about 4 times.
Looked like he was going down. They hit him, but they didn't wrap him up.
Number 53, Blake Corn, finally on the stop for Tahlequah. But the Tigers are going to have to do a better job of wrapping them up and taking them down right there.
Once you've got the hands or the contact on them, you've got to wrap them up. That's the easy way to get them down on the field. So they have a 2nd down and 5 from the Tahlequah 25. Tight end stacked on the left, 2 receivers right. Here's a handoff, number 4. He's got an open up field up the right side, across the 20, down inside the 20 to about the 16, 17-yard line before being wrapped up and taken down. Number 34 on the stop for Tahlequah is Isaac Strain. Talked about him a lot last year, a senior player this year.
Isaac's been in on 2 of the last 3 plays for the Tigers. I believe that might have been him that got that receiver on the far side there a while ago.
They took a quick measurement from the field. It is a 1st down for Fort Gibson at the 17-yard line in Tahlequah territory, and Fort Gibson marching the football towards that ever-important end zone. Man in motion, left to right, quarterback. Handoff again, number 4, hit at the line of scrimmage, wrapped up, popped him, Glad stood him straight up. Big number 45, and a flag comes in late at the end of the play. Zach Fuentes on that hit.
Jesse Rudd's getting the bulk of the carries right now for Fort Gibson. Tiger's going to have to start keying on him.
And we got a penalty on the field. The flag is in the backfield, and the umpire is pointing towards the offense, and they're backing up. Maybe a hold. And personal foul, and it's against Fort Gibson, so that's going to back this up. It's either the 5 or 10 yard variety. I believe it's probably the 5 or 15 yard variety. Let's see which one they mark off. Referees are coming over to talk to Coach Bradley Gilbert, see which way he wants the call to go. He could go 2nd and 10, or he can take the penalty and back him up 15 yards and make it 1st and 15 or 1st and 25, and they'll take it back. Didn't seem with the, I think it was a chop block. So it's going to be back to the 31 yard line. They got to get to the 12 for a first down. And a first down marker. They show it 2nd down, but they'll fix it to 2nd. You can hear the stadium announcer. He's as confused as I am. Should be first down. There they go. They got it straightened out. Receivers left, receivers right. The ball in the far hash mark from where we're at. One single back set. Everybody else on the line. Quarterback under center. Number 21 gets the handoff. Breaks through the tackle. Gets a shirt grab to hold of. Out of the 20, down to the 15. All the way down to the 14 yard line.
Woodworth once again on the carry for Fort Gibson.
So he made that 15 yards back, plus 5 or 6 yards on top of it. Let's see where they mark this, maybe just 4 yards. They're going to mark a knee down at the 15, so he's going to get the 15 back, plus, let's say he's got a couple of more here. He's got 2nd or 3rd down, and there should be a 2nd down at 8. They're showing 3rd and 7 on the scoreboard. I guess the referees corrected him. They lost it down for the personal foul. So 3rd down and 7 from the Tahlequah 15. Receivers left and right. Quarterback's out of the shotgun now. Number 23, Robbie Allen, man in motion. Handoff the backfield. Number 21 tries to split through. He gets hit, rolled around down to the 10-yard line, and he's down right there. And we're going to have a 4th and short for the Fort Gibson Tigers. Great stop by the Tahlequah Tigers. Defense weren't fooled at all.
Had several Tigers in on that, but the last man to get up off the crowd was number 17, Colton Booth.
So they're at the 10-yard line. They've got to get to the 7 for a first down, so they have a 4th and 3. Deep in Tahlequah territory. When you're on the 10-yard line, Coach, on week 1, you got to go for it.
Well, we're going to find out real quick if they've got a kicker or not, that's for sure. It looks like they're going to line up and go for it.
2 receivers to the left, quarterback under center, double stack tight ends on the left side, and 1 single back set. Man in motion left and right on the tight end, quarterback. Handoff, 21, cuts up the field, inside the 5, gets hit, taken all the way inside the end zone, and that'll be a touchdown by the Fort Gibson Tigers, but he was hit at the 5, the 3, and the 2, and still made it across the line. Nice job spinning, kicking, digging his legs and spinning, and made it in for the touchdown. So Tavion Woodworth picking up the touchdown on a 7-yard run, or a 10-yard run for the Fort Gibson Tigers, makes it a 7-6 game with 6:43 to go. Here's the kick for the extra point. It's high, spinning and up, goes through the uprights. Good. We have a tie game. 7-7. Fort Gibson Tigers and the Tahlequah Tigers at Fort Gibson are tied it up. We're coming back in 30 seconds. This is Tahlequah Tiger football on Lakes Country 102.1.
What?
Listen.
Huh?
Listen. Never mind. Wanted you to hear the spot.
Oh.
That cap will come off and then you can unscrew it.
Whole thing had to come off.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 6:43 to remaining in the first. Fort Gibson Tigers have marched all the way downfield from the 39-yard line, all the way down, including one 15-yard penalty, Coach, and been able to move the chains, make it work, and get the touchdown. Back deep for Tahlequah, Day Leathers, and number 15, Simeon Armstrong. Leathers on the far side of the field from us. Armstrong on the near side. Quarterback 3 yards away, and he's going to kick it high and short to the right-hand side again, and this one will go out of bounds, and the flags will go up. Went out of bounds at about the 26, 27-yard line, so that kick didn't pay off for him. Now, high school, does Tahlequah have the option to make them kick it again or just take it wherever they place it?
They'll take it, I think, at the 35-yard line right there.
All right. Good field position to start.
On that one, Lou, there's no option, I don't believe, in high school anymore. It's just an automatic. If it goes out of bounds, we're going to take it at 35. And
automatic if it goes in the end zone, it comes back to the 20. All right. Man, we need a fan in here. Woo! It's hot. We need that wind to change directions a little bit. Tahlequah up, out of the shotgun. 3 receivers, 2 left, 1 right. Day Leathers gets a screen pass, looks upfield, cuts back the other way, gets across the 40, breaks a tackle, 45, 50. And he's hit and taken down at the 49, 50-yard line. Nice stop by number 21, Tavion Woodworth, who's also their running back, who was able to come up in the secondary and make that stop. But Day Leathers was breaking free.
14-yard pass right there. Tigers got an excellent block on the corner by number 64, Aiden Yahola.
Excellent block. He gets all the way out to the 49, picks up a Tahlequah Tiger first down. 1st and 10 from their own 49, so 51 yards to go to get into that end zone.
Gosh darn it, son.
Out of the shotgun. Tight end stack, 1 on either side, 3 receivers, 1 left, 1 right, and we're going to have a motion penalty against the Tahlequah Tigers. You had the tight end come from the backfield, or the back come from the backfield up to the tight end position on the right side, and then one of the receivers went into motion.
Now you can only have 1 man in motion at a time right there, and he has to be going lateral to or behind the line. Tigers got caught.
Oh, it's an illegal substitution is what they had. Okay. So it's a 10-yard penalty on the illegal substitution. It'll back him up to the 44-yard line. Pardon me, a 5-yard penalty. I said 10. I'm listening to the stadium announcer. I got to quit doing that. He's making more mistakes than I am. And I'm making every one he makes. So first and 15. And jumping across the line, number 75 from Fort Gibson with a long, hard count. Good job by Tate Christian. Stomping his foot on a long, hard count. And they get the 5 yards back, and it'll be 1st and 10 again from the 49.
Lou, these are the kind of mistakes we talked about earlier. The team that makes the least of these all night long is probably going to be the one win, the way it looks.
Yep. Matt Rowan calls it stupid tax. Penalty on the field, why pay that stupid tax? Offsetting penalties there, so we're back to 1st and 10 from the 49. Two receivers left. 2 back set. Day Leathers gets the handoff, turns it back upfield. Gets hit at the line of scrimmage, but drives forward. He's going to pick up 2 or 3 yards to about the 48-yard line in Fort Gibson territory. So a 3-yard carry here. Going to move things forward. So 2nd and 7 for the Fort Gibson Tigers, and I give it about 10 or 14 more minutes, and that sun will be out of our eyes, and maybe some cooler temperatures. Next week, the Tahlequah Tigers are at home against Coweta at Doc Wadley Stadium. Be sure to come join us out there and bring your radio with you. Screen pass to the near side, caught by number 13. Ball spits out, or something spits out there. No, something comes off one of the Fort Gibson Tigers, but that's a catch.
Jackson Jones on the catch for the Tigers.
Down to about the 48-yard or 43-yard line, pardon me. That's going to move it more about 4-yard pickup there. So
3rd down and 2, Lou.
Make that a 5-yard pickup. They're going to be a 3rd down and 2 here. From the Fort Gibson 43, they got to get to the 41 for a first. Day Leathers in the backfield. Tate Christian, the quarterback, rolling out. Day Leathers comes to the near side. Gets the handoff. No, that's number 15. That's a
Simeon Armstrong.
Simeon Armstrong.
That's one of those things that the Tigers have as an option. They could bring Simeon in as a running back quarterback.
So Armstrong, I looked down and I saw the numbers. I started looking down at my sheet here. Simeon is in the game now. So picks up the 1st down all the way down to the 31. 1st and 10, Tahlequah. Armstrong down to the shotgun. He'll follow the lead blocker, turns upfield, now cuts to the sidelines, turns the corner, and he'll pick up another 9 or 10 yards and gets tripped up and knocked out of bounds. Where did his knee touch? They had to get to the 21 for a first. Let's see where they're going to mark it.
Lou, this Simeon Armstrong has breakaway speed. If he hits a hole hard, he's going to be gone. He didn't hit that one as hard as they want him to hit it, I can guarantee you.
From the 23-yard line, 8-yard pickup by Armstrong. Now Tate's back in the game for the Tahlequah Tigers, looking for a hard count. Not going to get the hard count, not going to get him to jump off sides. Looking to the sidelines. Still got 10 seconds left on the play clock. 4:06 to go in the game clock, first quarter. Day Leathers turns upfield. There's a big hole. Across the 20, inside of the 15. And the hole collapsed as fast as it opened up. Day Leathers into about the 17 and a 1st down.
Number 44, Johnny Fuentes, the one opened up that first hole right there for the Tigers.
Big
Big running back.
From right to left and just had that lead block.
Well, he's predominantly going to be the guy they go to for the lead blocking.
Johnny Fuentes, a 5'7", 225-pound senior. And if he's coming at you, he might as well make that freight train noise because he's going to run you over. 1st and 10. They mark the ball at the 18-yard line. Kind of have, maybe 6 or 8 inches inside of it. Tate out of the shotgun. 2 back set now. 2 receivers to the right. And Tate's going to keep it. He'll cut upfield across the 10. Gets wrapped up inside the 10 down to about the 6 or 7-yard line. He's got enough for the 1st down if he got to the 7. And I think he did. That's going to move the change and a 1st down. So it'll be a 1st and goal from the 7-yard line on an 11-yard pickup by the quarterback, which is now Tate Christian again. I got to keep a close eye on this. Coach told me they're going to switch in and out, and I'm not going to notice it. I already missed 2.
Well, one thing about this, you said earlier, asked me earlier what we might see tonight. I think we're seeing it right now. Good balance between running and passing.
Out of the shotgun. Here's a handoff. Day Leathers cuts. He gets wrapped up in the backfield and taken down. A loss to about the 10-yard line. And the helmet comes off one of the Fort Gibson Tigers on that tackle. And he took a shot to the forehead once that helmet came loose. Man, chin straps are all so important.
Number 24, Carson Ladd, making the stop, getting his helmet knocked off. He's going to have to leave the game for Fort Gibson.
He'll have to come out for at least one play when the equipment comes off. 2:56 to go. Clock running. First quarter, 7-7. Tahlequah knocking on the door. Second goal from the 9. Tate trying to get him to jump. They wouldn't jump. It's going to change the play at the line of scrimmage. Down to 13 seconds on the play clock. 2-back set. Fuentes on the left tight end position. 2 receivers to the left. And they're going to the opposite direction. And the ball out of Tate's hands and picked up by Day Leathers. He got popped and that thing went all the way back to the 12-yard line. Good thing Day Leathers was there to jump on it. And another loss of 2 yards. Maybe it's time to go back to the air, Coach.
Do what?
Third down and call it 11 now.
Yeah.
Third down and go from the 11.
I think that ball was knocked out there by number 3, Carson Austin for Fort Gibson. And it just laid there for an instant. Day Leathers happened to be right there. Fell on top of it.
And we had a timeout on the field, I believe. We will keep it right here. We're taking care of all of our timeouts this quarter. Got to thank our sponsors for supporting us this year in Tahlequah Tiger Athletics. We thank you so much for being a part of it. It's all important. These broadcasts could not happen without those all-important supporters of the community of their high school. We're talking about Bank First, Bear Spinal Care, Bank of Cherokee County, Casey's General Store, Cone's Quick Stop, First State Bank, Northeastern Health Systems, Southside Drive-In, Tahlequah Public Schools, Thunderbolt, and Tommy Nick's Auto Group. We appreciate those folks so much for coming on board with us this year. I believe there's a few others that are still planning on coming on board. They just haven't made that jump yet. But hey, you've got an opportunity if you want to get on board and sponsor. You better go ahead and make that call, because those positions, I think we have room for 3 or 4 more or whatever. Get that taken care of for you. All right, Coach, we're down to a 3rd and 12 when we started with a 1st and goal from the 7, so it's 3rd and goal from the 12, so we've lost 5 yards on 3 consecutive plays here. What are you going to do?
Well, the fumble was the one that really hurt, but got some receivers in there that are capable of catching the ball.
2 left, 1 right, 1 in motion from right to left. Tate's out of the shotgun by himself. No, he hands off, no, fakes, runs to the far side. Pass is caught inside the 5, turns the corner.
Cole Goodnight on the catch.
Right at the 5-yard line, and a good job defensively to stop him. And I'm trying to catch his number
11, Cole Goodnight was the receiver.
10, Aiden Coleman on the stop. Goodnight the catch at the 5. Now we got a 4th and goal. They'll mark it at the 5-yard line, so 4th and goal from the 5. Do you send out the kicker?
Yes, they're out there.
Try to make sure you...
Number 2, Tanner Christian, lining up the ball.
And he is a left-footed kicker, ladies and gentlemen. Coach talked about him on Tuesday and also in the pregame show. Ball's off the ground, rolls into the hands of the quarterback. The set, the kick, it's good. Tahlequah Tigers with 1:14 to go, and in the first quarter will go up 10-7 on the Fort Gibson Tigers. And we're going to keep it right here. Again, I'm back at the studios. Megan Zippelman, our, I guess we would say, producer tonight, under the direction of our sports director, John Haynes. And John Haynes will have the high school scoreboard wrap-up show coming up after tonight's broadcast. If we're getting done at 9:30 or 10 or whatever that case may be, John Haynes will shortly after that start giving us scores from across the area. I can tell you, Coach, that here's some of the teams that we're watching this week. You ready?
Yep.
Siloam Springs playing at Pryor. Western Heights playing at Stillwell tonight. Sallisaw playing at Catoosa. Sequoia Claremore at Hilldale. Coweta's at Wagner tonight. Locust Grove down Salina yesterday evening, 34-0. Sequoia Tahlequah's at Muldrow tonight. That game is over on Billy Country. Shakota at Keys, tape delayed on Billy Country tonight. That's a home game for Keys to start the season. Eufaula's playing the Wolverines in Vian. Shoto Macy taking on Tulsa Noah. Colcord down Kansas yesterday, 38-20. Central Sallisaw down Panama, 29-21. In Class B, Welch is at Watts tonight at 7 p.m. Weber's Falls on the road to Porham at 7 p.m. And college football last night, OSU beating Missouri State 58-17 the final. And the Northeastern State Riverhawks fall to Emporia State last night 34-7. That's the scores from here at home in our listening area. And the ones we already have from yesterday, John Haynes will have the complete list for you tonight on the wrap-up show. Now here's a kickoff, and it's busted loose here at about the 35-yard line, and Tahlequah claiming they've got it on the outside kick. Waiting for the signal. It's a Tahlequah football. After the field goal, they had to kick it off. And in and out of the hands of one of the players, Brad Gilbert is jumping up and down excited. That's a good way to get going. Just score 3, get the football back on there. About the 33-yard line is where they're going to mark this, 34 maybe. So the ball broken loose. Tahlequah gets it back.
Well, Lou, Simeon Armstrong was the first man out of there jumping in the air, but I couldn't tell who got that ball, and I don't think it matters right now.
A whole host of white jerseys got there in a hurry.
Tigers get it 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
And here we go. 2 receivers to the left. Fuentes, the double tight end stack on the left side. One also on the right. Tate out of the shotgun.
Corn.
Simeon, the single back set, just behind him and to his left.
Lou, I just got word that was Blake Corn, number 53, that got on that ball for the Tigers.
All right, here's the handoff. It's Simeon Armstrong. He turns the corner, gets out of bounds.
Day-Day.
Oh, pardon me, Day-Day Leathers on the carry. Day-Day Leathers, number 20. Thought that was Simeon in there.
Lou, these musical chairs running back in, running back out, kind of getting confusing.
I see you marking down a number 3. That's the 3rd time they got me. I'm going to have more points on the board than Fort Gibson or Tahlequah tonight. It's 3 times they've got me with a different player. I guess my old eyes need to pay better attention. Double tight end stack, one right, one left. Man in motion from right to left goes to double tight end stack. Handoff, Day-Day turns upfield over the left end. Started to go right, went back to the left, then turned upfield, and he has enough for the first down. Maybe picked up 3 or 4 yards here. And we'll get the clock going again down to the 24-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down and move the chains.
Well, Lou, that stop was made by number 3, and that would be Carson Austin. That's a good thing for the Tigers if they're making a lot of tackles in the backfield back there.
Well, when he took that handoff, you notice he started to go right, and there was a wall. And Day-Day immediately cut back to the left and found an opening and able to got 4 yards and picked up the first. That's heads-up football right there.
He's got that innate ability to change directions on a dime. And I think that's one of the things when we talked about Simeon a while ago. They see that in Simeon sometimes. We need to see it more regularly.
All right, Tate out of the shotgun. Tate Christian, the quarterback. Day-Day Leathers, the back behind him to the right. He gets the handoff, goes to the left end, turns the corner, swings to the outside, and horse collar tackle. Actually had him by the shoulder pad in the jersey, but he's inside the 20 and gets whip tackled to about the 19-yard line, so a pickup of about 5 here. And a 2nd and 5 for the Tahlequah Tigers as we run out of time in the first quarter. And that'll be the end of the first quarter, and we'll take it to the second quarter with the Tahlequah Tigers leading the Fort Gibson Tigers in the opening game of the season. The score, Tahlequah 10, Fort Gibson 7. Back in 1 minute. This is Tahlequah Tiger football on Lakes Country 102.1.
Whitney brothers going in and out. Whitney brothers going in and out at running back. That was the other one. That was Sack.
At halftime, we're going to go stand out there. Got a 7-minute interview.
Somebody else do it.
Get a chance next break. Let me know how long that interview is at halftime. Welcome back. 10-7, Tahlequah Tigers knocking on the door here inside the red zone. as we start the second quarter of play. They're on the Fort Gibson 18-yard line. They need to get to the 14, so they've got a second down and 4th here. Day turns the corner. Nope, that's number 15, Simeon Armstrong on the carry. That's 4, Coach. Mark it down.
I was just getting ready to say they have both Simeon and Day in the backfield back there. So one of them's in the quarterback slot.
There you go. Simeon Armstrong turns the corner. He's down inside the 14, about halfway between the 14 and 13. That'll be enough for a first down, and they'll move the chains. Now they got to get to the 3 for a first down. New first down. 1st and 10 from about the, I'm going to call it the 14 because they've got to get to the 3.
Ball's just inside the 14-yard line on the left hash mark.
Armstrong, the quarterback. He's going to keep it, turn upfield, and there's a flag comes in during this play. Might be a hold out here on the left side. That was thrown in by the head judge over here on the near side of the field. And he gets inside the 10 to about the 8, get tackled there, but let's see what this penalty's about. As we're just underway in the second quarter.
I believe that's going to be a hold on number 54, Hayden Napier, right there on that left corner.
All right, so they're going to back this up. 11:34 just underway, second quarter of play. 10-7 Tahlequah, and that made that easy little first down a little bit less easy. But we can get somebody to pick it up. Simeon Armstrong under quarterback. Johnny Fuentes, the back set this time. 4 wide receiver set, folks. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Johnny Fuentes comes up to the tight end position on the left end. Man in motion from right to left. Here's his snap, and he gets the handoff. The man in motion turns upfield, breaks a tackle inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line. So
that's sophomore Kobe Baker for the Tigers in there for the first time tonight.
Picks up about 8, so they're going to have a 2nd and 12 here. Still got to get to the 3-yard line. They're on about the 17-yard line right now.
Scoreboard says 2nd and 18. Now they're changing it to 13, but
2nd and 13. Again, 4 wide receivers set. Ball's in the near hash mark. Armstrong, the quarterback. Day Leathers back in. That's the halfback to the right of Armstrong. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Here's a snap. Rolling out, looking to pass. Armstrong will turn upfield. He's inside the 15 down to about the 13. He's going to pick about 5 or 6 yards up. Great coverage in the secondary by Fort Gibson. Nobody was open.
He's back to about the original line of scrimmage there, so a gain of about 3 yards for Simeon.
3rd down and 10.
Good downfield coverage by Fort Gibson Tigers on that play.
This time I see it. They run around. I see how the switch is made now. I'm not going to share it, but Tate Christian is back in the game. Armstrong on the sidelines. Day Leathers back in the game as the back. One of the guys trying to jump and looking to the sidelines. A hard count, trying to get an easy 5. It's not there. Calls a new play. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Ball on the far hash mark. Here's the snap. Quick dump off across the middle. Caught inside the 5 and taken down by the back of the helmet. No flag. But a great reception and pickup. He's all the way down to the 3-yard line. That may be enough for the first down.
It is. That's Colton Booth on the slant pattern right there. Great catch for the Tigers. Great effort after the catch.
Held on to that football. They reached over his back. It hit him by the back, but as he tried to duck away, they just held on to the helmet. Surprised he didn't pull it off.
I talked to Colton this morning talking about the game, and they want this game very badly. Hard to win at Fort Gibson.
Really hard to win. Well, they got a chance here to extend the lead. 1st and goal from the 3. Man in motion from right to left. Double tight end stack. Here's the handoff. They're going to turn upfield. Follow him. Day Leathers.
Touchdown.
Punches it in from 3 yards out. 2 big backs to follow. Or 2 big tight ends to follow. Johnny Fuentes and Zach Fuentes. Johnny is 5'7", 225. Zach Fuentes is 5'7", 215. Both seniors. And that was a pretty good doorway that opened up right there. A big old garage door where he could just go in. Did get hit and wrapped up by the legs across the line, but a touchdown nonetheless. 16-7 our score. And Tanner Christian will step in for the extra point attempt. Left footed kicking it. It's up in the air. And it is good.
Christian brothers on the hold and the kick. Left-footed kicker Tanner Christian, good.
17-7 our score. Tahlequah Tigers go up by 10 over the Fort Gibson Tigers. We're going to take our first 30-second time out of this quarter. Come right back. This is Tahlequah Tiger football on Lakes Country 102.1.
Remember when he got that time? I didn't get the time on the field goal.
Didn't get the time or the...
No, how much time was left on the clock when he got that?
When he got the field goal?
Yeah. And that was part of the first period.
About 40 seconds. No, 30 seconds. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Kelly along with LZ Miller, Tahlequah Tigers on a Fuentes and Fuentes block. And Day Leather's 3-yard run and touchdown puts us up 17-7, a 10-point lead of the Tigers. But hey, 10-point lead over the Fort Gibson Tigers is not enough.
Well, listen, Johnny Fuentes was the lead blocker most of last year. He's come back this year, picking up where he left off. And not only that, but now we've got Zach Fuentes in there with him.
You think he shared a little bit of his knowledge over the summer? We started off the game with one single run by Day Leathers to go up early. This one bounced off the ground into the hands of number 4. He's out at the 15 to 20, 25. Out to the ball comes loose again, and Tahlequah may have it again. It pops loose. Tahlequah jumping up and down. Number 4 bobbled it when it bounced off his hands and onto the ground, and we did recover that. Ouch.
33. Number 33 for the Tigers, that's Simon Escalera getting on top of that ball.
I wonder when we were going to say his name tonight.
I believe the hit was by number 11, Colton Booth, right there. Then there was a scrum of Tiger players around it, and somehow or other the ball came out.
Cole Goodnight on that pop, number 11. Number 4, ball hit Jesse Rudd in the hand, and it came out of his hands and hit the ground. He dropped almost to his knee to pick it up, and then came down the field, and that big pop is over. Okay, Coach, I got 4. You got one mark there.
You corrected me there. That was Cole Goodnight, not Colton Booth.
All right, 4-1. You're catching up.
I'm looking through the sun and the wall.
So Tahlequah Tigers, after the fumble and recovery, are on Fort Gibson's 30-yard line, and a fantastic opportunity to go 30 yards and extend the lead. One back set, 2 receivers to the near side. Out of the shotgun, Day gets the call, gets the handoff over the left end, spins. Hit by number 20, still bringing. Breaks loose at number 20 and gets wrapped up again and taken down.
They're saying he's down. Fort Gibson fell on a loose ball right there, but I believe he was down the knee, and that's what the officials is going to say.
Number 20 got him, and he put one knee down at about the 23-yard line. Got down to the 21, but that knee touched, and the umpire saw it after he got up and got another extra yard. That was number 20, Trevor Gilkey, on the stop. Out of the shotgun. Jay Christian looks to the near side. 2 receivers right. It's either Day Leathers or Simeon Armstrong that's his back set. Fuentes just over the right guard, moves to the left-hand side. And a timeout's going to be called by, I believe, Fort Gibson this time. Nope, it's a Tahlequah timeout. The offensive coordinator's not liking what he saw. 6:14 or 8:14 to go in the second. 17-7 Tahlequah. Coach, time for another quick timeout. We're coming right back. This is Tahlequah Tiger football on Lakes Country 102.1. Welcome back as the sun sets over Oklahoma. Friday night football is underway. Tahlequah Tigers up 17-7. A kickoff, fumble on the kickoff, recovered by the Tahlequah Tigers. They pick up about 7 yards on the first down. It's 2nd and 3. And they are at the Fort Gibson 23-yard line. After the timeout, 2 receivers right, none to the left. Day Leathers in, quick pass over to the near side, jumping up in the air, and big hands of number 25 bats that out of the sky. Tegan Thornborough, and Thornborough got up in the air and just knocked that down.
Yeah, I believe we had a receiver, number 17, as Colton Booth right there. He cut across the middle and was wide open, but the ball didn't get over the defensive player.
Excellent job on defense to make that an incomplete pass. It will stop the clock with 8:10 to go in the second. It is 17-7. Coming up here after this quarter at halftime, we'll have an interview with Athletic Director Matt Cloud. That'll be on the way. Hand off to the near side. Day Leathers comes to the near side, turns the corner across to 20 and knocked out of bounds. 16-yard line, a nice little run there.
Thank you, Fuentes brothers. Both of them together, locking shoulders right there, and drove the defensive player back. Able to make the path open for Day Leathers to get the Tiger 1st and 10.
I have got a nickname for these guys. They're the Tonka trucks. You put them both side by side, you're
They look like it. Little road graders.
little Tonka trucks, that's right.
All
Here
right.
come the Tonka trucks. I remember those. Most people don't even know what a Tonka truck is. You and I do.
Oh, yeah. If you got one now, they're worth a lot of money.
8:05.
Well, the Tigers are liking what they're seeing out of their two Tonka trucks.
Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Day-Day's in there. Here's the handoff. Day-Day coming again. The Fuentes brothers break him loose. 10-5. Easy step-in touchdown. Fuentes brothers grab the block and turn him to the outside. And Day-Day Leathers just cut back to his right and went right around him. What is it?
17-yard touchdown run.
17-yard touchdown run. Makes it 23-7 in the first half. Tahlequah Tigers going up early. Now, I'm going to say this. They can't get laxadocious. Got to stay on top of this game if Tahlequah wants to start the season off with the one in the win column. Tate Christian to hold. Tanner Christian to kick. It's on the way. This one's low, but it does go through. It's 24-7. Tahlequah Tigers up on the Fort Gibson Tigers with 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. Back in just 30 seconds here on Lakes Country 102.1. Make it pick up. All right, we are back, Coach. What do you think of that run right there? 17-yard touchdown run, Tahlequah Tigers.
Lou, that's the third touchdown of the night for Day Leathers right there. And I'm telling you what, he better take the Fuente brothers out for dinner because they've opened up some huge holes for him tonight, and he's the benefactor of every one of them.
You want to make sure nothing's in your way? Follow them Tonka trucks.
Well, I hope we see a lot of this year.
Twin dozers. I can't call him a dozer. Dozers go too slow. Fuentes brothers are moving. All right, ready for the kickoff. Tanner Christian with the signal. Here's the kick going deep to the left-hand side. Caught at the 20-yard line, out to the 25. Turns the corner, popped at the 28 and taken right out of bounds. Big hit, big stick there. That is number 17, I believe, on the stop.
17 would be
Tristan King.
Yeah. And number 5 on the reception there, Connor Brown, a 5'11", 150-pound junior wide receiver for Fort Gibson. Didn't get much on the return.
Turned that corner and got stood up. What a hit. All right, so defense takes to the field. We got 7:53 to play in the second quarter. It's 24-7. Tahlequah on top of Fort Gibson here in the opening night of the 2018-2019 campaign. I formation, quarterback under center, one receiver to left-hand side. Fullback gets the handoff, gets wrapped up in the backfield and taken for a loss back to the 20. I think he got popped at about the 22-yard line with his forward progress, so that's where they'll mark it. But he was taken all the way back to the 20. I'm not sure, Coach, but it looked like he started to turn the corner.
Colton Booth got the first hit on him right there, and the final wrap-up along with him was Cole Goodnight. Those two guys are swarming pretty good on defense. If you remember right, last year at the end of the season, how many times did we call those two names?
I know it.
Colton Booth, Cole Goodnight, and they both have come into their own, and here they are as seniors. They're doing the job they're expected to do.
All right. I formation again, one receiver left. Fullback getting the handoff again, two receivers actually, and he goes straight up to the right guard. And he's going to get a couple of yards here and getting wrapped up and taken down. 77 with the final stop there. I don't see who hit him first. Brandon Davis on the wrap up and takedown.
Big Brandon Davis, that's the first time we've mentioned his name tonight. And I'll guarantee you, Lou, it won't be the last time.
Picks up 2 of the 5. Now it's going to be 3rd and 13. Ball's at about the
Tigers
24-yard line.
Tigers Kobe Baker, number 10, a sophomore defensive back for the Tigers, actually came out there with the ball that time.
Got to get to the 37 for a first down. This time one single back set. Quarterback's out of shotgun with 2 receivers, 1 to either side. Back to pass, looking, flushed out of the pocket, rolls out to his left-hand side, launches it downfield, and it's in and out of the hands of 25, and right into the hands of number 5, and he didn't, I think what happened is 25 kind of touched the ball and changed its direction. Number 5 was the intended receiver, which was Connor Brown, and that 25 just got his hands on it, and they both bobbled it.
Well, once again, that was number 17, Colton Booth, right there defending on that play. Helped to break that one up. That would have been a great throw for Fort Gibson, though, because that was a big one.
6:15 to go. It stops the clock on the incomplete pass, and we'll see the kicking team. Back deep for the Tahlequah Tigers. I believe it's number 10, Kobe Baker. The snap.
Loose.
Gets it up in the air, but it's going to be a bobbled short kick. It's going to bounce. Tahlequah will let it roll. It'll roll across midfield down to about the 45.
Fort Gibson roll all the way down into Tiger territory right there. Number 33 for Tahlequah, that is Simon Escalera, got upended right there and almost got a hand on the ball. In fact, he may have gotten a hand on it to cause the bad kick.
That snap was just a little bit off to his left, and he had to reach out for it and just couldn't get the handle on it.
Well, Simon put some good pressure on right there. If he didn't get it, he forced a bad one.
6 minutes away from halftime. When we get to halftime, we'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back here on the halftime show. And then a few minutes later, we'll take another 2-minute timeout for our sponsors. And we'll have Athletic Director Matt Cloud will be joining us on a previously recorded interview talking about the season and all of athletics at Tahlequah High School. That's coming up in our halftime show. Right now it's 24-7, 6:01 to go. And Tahlequah, 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. High snap, Armstrong rolls out to the right side, looking to pass it, turns the corner and throws it out of bounds. Smart play by Symbiont Armstrong. No one to throw it to, so throw it over the Fort Gibson bench.
Yeah. If you're going to take a loss like he was going to take right there, you just get rid of it. He did a good job.
Yep, he was at 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's better to throw it away with a forward pass than it is to take an 8-yard loss.
Let the coaching staff from the visiting team catch that one. That's exactly what he had to do right there.
Yep. I'm going to give you this one. We'll go back and try it again. Armstrong still in. 33 back now for the Tahlequah Tigers. That's Simon Escalera. Day Leathers in there. Leathers gets the handoff and cuts up the left-hand side. Escalera with the lead block, and Leathers all the way out to midfield, about the 49-yard line. And a nice little pickup here of about 7 yards. See where they marked this, whether right at midfield or the 49.
Little mix-up there by the Tigers using Escalera as the blocking back. You normally don't see him in that position much, but maybe it's going to be something we're going to see a lot of this year.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 4. Incomplete pass, the first down. A 6-yard pickup here. Tahlequah in their own territory at the 49. They've got to get to the 47-yard line in Fort Gibson territory for another first down. 5-12, 5-10. Clock running, 24-7, the lead by Tahlequah. Hand off in the backfield, Day. No, 33. That's Escalera on the carry. He's across midfield down to the 47, 46. Wrapping up and taking yard line. 46-yard line, getting wrapped up and taken down. Trying to get the number of that stop. Waiting for him to turn towards me. Nice little pickup here. It was number 4 on the stop, Jesse Rudd. But it's a 4. They needed 4 and got 5, so it's first down for the Tahlequah Tigers.
Good push by the offensive line right there.
And a beautiful painted sky across Oklahoma. Opening night of football. I'm sure everybody in the state can see this from all of their football fields. 4:50, clock running. 1st and 10, new set of downs from the Fort Gibson 46. Screen pass, left-hand side. Caught by number 6. Down inside the 40 and knocked out of bounds.
150-pound sophomore wide receiver there, Bradley Pruitt on the catch. First time we've seen anything thrown to him.
got knocked out of bounds inside the 40, but he stepped out of bounds at the 40, so they'll mark it there with a 6-yard pickup and a 4-yard 2nd and 4.
Tigers have got a good arsenal of receivers tonight.
And the screen passes, they haven't missed a one yet. 2 receivers right. Armstrong out of the shotgun. Day Leathers, nope, that's Escalera, the receiver to his right. Fuentes, the double tight end stack. They change the play. Escalera will move to the left-hand side. Armstrong steps up the line, changes the play, and here's the reset with 2 seconds to go. And a handoff. Armstrong, no, that's Escalera to the right-hand side. A stiff arm at the 25, down inside the 20. Nice play by Escalera to get out the 25-yard line, put the stiff arm on number 1, and take him downfield for another 5 or 6 yards.
He's inside the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, Tigers once again.
Now that's a perfect stiff arm there. You put the hands to the chest and hold the guy off, you can keep running. Can't put it in his face in the helmet, but you can put it right in his chest.
Had some good downfield blocking there by the right outside line, the setback and the wide receiver there. Both Colton Booth and number 11, Cole Goodnight, leading blocking there for him.
Out of the shotgun, 2 receivers left. Armstrong coming to the near side. He'll turn upfield through traffic, breaks across the 25, inside it to about the 22-yard line. 4 and 24 in the stop is Jesse Rudd with number 4 and Carson Ladd, the 24.
Gain of about 7 on the play.
Day Leathers, what a nice fake block there.
He's over 100 yards already just in his 3 touchdowns.
Did you see what he did there? He faked like he had the football and started off, and one of the defenders went with him. And when he pulled him out of the play, Armstrong turned upfield, he just kind of raised his hands up. I actually don't have the football, dude. Sorry. Gotcha. Got me too. I thought he had the ball. That's 5, by the way. Out of the shotgun, Armstrong, 3 receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Day Leathers, the lone back set. Correction, I have 4 receivers for Tahlequah, 2 to each side.
Number 8, Hunter Smith. Number 17 is Colton Booth.
And so the whistle's going to blow this dead. Delay of game, clock ran out to 0, so we'll back it up 5 yards. So a 2nd and 4 is going to turn into a 2nd and 9 here, or 2nd and 3 turns to 2nd and 8, pardon me. That clock got to 0 before that ball was snapped.
Yeah, and the officials had his eye right on it.
The back judge can look right down the field and see that scoreboard. The play clock is to the right-hand side of the scoreboard. Already running, it's down to 21 seconds. And we're 3:20 left to go in the first half. 24-7 Tahlequah over Fort Gibson. High snap, Armstrong grabs it, comes over the near side, gets hit in the backfield, and taken down about the 28-yard line. Back to the line of scrimmage, and then stepped on. And Armstrong kind of pushing off just a little bit. Number 21 took a little extracurricular there. That's Tavion Woodworth.
He made a point of pushing him to the ground after the tackle when he was trying to get up, and I think
one of the referees was headed that way, so any further activity would have brought out flags.
I think Simeon saw it before the officials did.
4 wide receivers. Armstrong dumps it off to the right-hand side. Tipped, picked off, and intercepted at the 5. Was tipped by 1, but right into the hands of number 5. He comes up with a football, and the defense will have to take to the field. Intended for number 13 down there, which is Jackson Jones. And Jackson Jones, the defender, managed to get in front of him and get a hand up and tip the ball. Number 5 cutting across, which was Connor Brown.
Kind of double coverage right there, and he threw right into it.
Got one hand on it, just tipped it up in the air and up out of Jackson Jones's hands. And number 5 coming across the field had to dive to catch it, but he brought it in. So offense for Fort Gibson will come back on the field with 2:38 to go in the second quarter. 24-7 Tahlequah.
Tigers need a good hold right here. We needed to score that touchdown, really put this game under at halftime. But
man in motion, left to right. Quarterback under center, handoff going the opposite direction over the right or left end. Turns the corner, gets out across the 15 to about the 16-17. Ankle tackled there. And number 10 there on the stop is Kobe Baker for the Tahlequah Tigers. Tell you what, either it's me or it's you. It's probably me. Whew, it's warm. Yeah. I should have just covered myself.
This is supposed to be football season. It's
August.
Cool.
Hey, you know, I'm not going to complain. I need to stop that because we've had the best August weather over the last month. All the rain and cooler temperatures. Couldn't have asked for it to be any better. I'll take this over 105 any day. Hand off in the backfield. Cuts back the other way. Into the line of scrimmage, taken down. Nice big hit right there. Number 5 for Tahlequah. And I'm looking forward to saying this guy's name this year. Dylan Parrish on a pop. And finished off with one of the Fuentes brothers, I believe.
That was, I believe that was Zach Fuentes, number 45. Yeah, there was 2 good solid hits right there. When Fuentes hit him, he was already headed to the ground.
Good stand-up stop. That's some of the best hits I've ever seen in football, when a player's running and he gets popped by somebody and his forward motion comes to a complete stop.
Tigers need to hold right here, 3rd down and about 3.
Abrupt stop, I should say. Minute 15 to go in the first half. Fort Gibson trying to keep from letting Tahlequah have the ball. Screen pass out to the left-hand side, and number 3 turns before the football gets there. Had his hands off to his right, tried to go ahead and turn around, but the ball hadn't got to his hands yet. Incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock with 1:08. It'll be 4th and 3.
Simon Escalera actually had the ball bounce back up off the ground into his hand. He was ready to go to the end zone.
Tahlequah is going to take a lead into the locker room in about another minute and 8 seconds for halftime. They don't need to change a thing here in this second half. Fort Gibson Tigers got some work to do and some adjustments to make during halftime, and you can bet there will.
Get some pressure on this kicker.
Kick to about midfield, caught at the 49, out to the 45, down to the 40, cuts back the other way, and inside the 40 to about the 38. Forward progress is going to get him there to about the 39. I think the referees are going to mismark this at about the 39-yard line, maybe the 40. But he got to the 38 before getting popped. So they'll mark it at the 40 with 55.3 seconds to go before halftime. And if I'm the Tahlequah Tigers, I'm not necessarily wanting to take a knee and go to the locker room. It's an opportunity to keep moving the football.
I believe he might have gone a little farther there, but he ran into his own man, number 70 there for the Tigers, and that was Brian Eden.
55.3 seconds to go before halftime. It's 24-7 is our score. Tahlequah leading Fort Gibson at Fort Gibson. Opening night of the 2018 football season here on Lakes Country 102.1. Out of the shotgun, 4 receivers. Coming to the left-hand side, pass downfield, in and out of the hands of the defender, number 1, who cut upfield in front of number 13. Jackson Jones had a pass coming right at his number, stopped and turned and was waiting for it.
Codell Ford for Fort Gibson stepped in there and broke that play up. Good defensive play by Fort Gibson.
Almost
Big
had a pick
defensive
6.
play.
Almost had a pick 6, just didn't hold on to it.
And that one, he might have gone 70 yards, 65 yards for a touchdown if he'd have got that one.
Stepped up in front of the receiver and just took off. All right, so 2nd down and 10 from the 40. 50 seconds left out of the shotgun. Day-Day Leathers gets the call. He's across inside the 40. Wrap that football up, and they finally take him down.
Well, they're going to let him.
It was wrapped up for a moment or two, and they finally let the play finish out.
They just letting the clock run right now, I think.
Nope, they're going to take a timeout. And I think we're out of timeout, so as far as on air, and that's all right. We'll keep it right here.
Kind of looked like to me the officials had a chance to stop that play a little bit sooner on forward progress, and they just kept letting him shove him around.
Finally took him to the ground at about the 37-yard line, called a 3-yard pickup with 39.1 seconds left on the clock here in the second quarter. Halftime festivities coming up. Both marching bands are here, Fort Gibson and Tahlequah. You know, you got, and one of the things too, I thought I'd ask the band instructor if he would come join us on the Morning Rush show sometime in the next few weeks and talk to him. These kids are athletes in marching band as well. We get out there, we play football and we hit and we play basketball, baseball and soccer and all that, but it's tough to get out there and keep your feet and keep the step and keep rhythm and play music at the same time, and these kids do it all year long.
Lou, I'm going to be honest with you. Nobody puts in more time than the Orange Express. I can tell you that.
Nobody. So we're going to get a chance to talk to their band instructor this year and visit with him. Plus, you're going to get to see him probably tomorrow morning. Is the 66th Annual Cherokee National Holiday Parade, 9:30 a.m. at downtown. Long pass down court. Caught at the 25-yard line. Day-Day Leathers will take it in. That's over the middle. Caught at about the 22-yard line. And a touchdown from the 37, a 37-yard touchdown pass Day got all by himself there, Coach.
Wide open down the field, in the middle of the field. 37-yard touchdown for Day Leathers.
Make it 30-7 and a chance to go up one here with the extra point by Tanner Christian. Anyways, I'm saying we'll get him in there and talk to him. Don't forget that 66th annual Cherokee National Holiday Parade tomorrow morning. You'll probably see the NSU band and all the other ones. Extra point is blocked. Number 24, nope, number 20 got in there and got a hand on it this time. Trevor Kilkey came through the line, got a big hand up in the air and prevented that extra point. So with 29.8 seconds left to go in the second quarter, it is 30-7 Tahlequah. Looking forward to that on Billy Country 96.3 1350. Back to that. Dennis Sixkiller does such a great job in English and in Cherokee. You'll hear that tomorrow morning, 9:30. Coming up tonight after our broadcast here of the Tahlequah Tigers, John Haynes with the football wrap-up show to give you the scores from across the area, and he'll be live. You got scores, you can call in and talk to him, let him know. We trust a lot of different media, including Squirtle, Max Preps, Tahlequah Daily Press. We get a lot of information from them. Tulsa World Daily, Oklahoma, and we can get a lot of information pretty quick. So we're going to start bringing those scores to you every Friday night from across the area. All right, Tahlequah set to kick it off here. 29.8 seconds. Obviously going to take a lead of 30-7 into the locker room at halftime. And Fort Gibson's got some adjustments to make.
Well, this is kind of what we wanted to see as Tigers, exerting our superiority right here early in the ball game and taking advantage of everything. And Fort Gibson's laid a few turnovers on the field for Tigers. So
here's a kickoff down the middle. One hop picked up at the 25 by number 21. Runs into his own player, gets popped out of the outside and taken back to about the 30-yard line as he got out to about the 31-32.
Tavian Woodworth on the reception for Fort Gibson.
This officiating team, one thing I have noticed is they're going with the end of the play. He got to the 32-yard line, got popped by Tahlequah, and knocked back 2 yards, but they're going to mark it from the end of the play, not the forward progress. So 21 seconds left. Fort Gibson's going to be able to get a couple of plays off, but they're not going to be able to. They might break one loose and go all the way. Who knows?
Tigers are going to play prevent defense right here. Just keep the ball in front of you. 25 seconds, tough to go that long unless you do one play. So,
Athletic Director Matt Cloud down on the sidelines there at about the 15-yard line. He's watching the game. Fort Gibson comes out of the huddle until the line of scrimmage. Out of the shotgun, one back set, two receivers, one left, one right. Full line on the offensive line. Handoff, number 5 comes to turn the corner. Hit up by a great wrap-up tackle. Wrapped him up by the legs. Number 10, Kobe Baker. Could have hit him up high, dropped low, and wrapped him up around the knees. You can't turn your knees, you can't run, and down he went.
Cole Goodnight got good penetration on the left corner right there. Turned the runner upfield, and Kobe Baker was the benefactor of that one. Good open field tackle.
All right, we're going to let the clock run out here and take it into the locker rooms. Our score at halftime, the Tahlequah Tigers 30, Fort Gibson Tigers 7. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. LZ and I will come right back with more information for you here from halftime. Our first halftime show of the year. LZ on the way next here. This is Lakes Country 102.1 KELK Tahlequah. Okay, Megan, you got a second? Megan, I'm calling her. No, I'm talking to her. Go ahead, no. Yes, I want you to come back to us after this 2-minute timeout, okay? And then when we take the next commercial break, let the commercial break run, let the coach's interview run with Matt Cloud, then the next commercial break, and then come back to us. Okay? You're going to throw it, yeah, so what you're going to do is give it back to us after this break, and then we're going to talk a little bit. Then we're going to throw it back to you for a commercial break. You're going to play the commercial break, the coach's interview, and the next commercial break. So you're going to play something from there for 10 minutes. Follow me? Okay. In other words, after the second commercial break, don't come back to us. Just go straight to the coach's interview. Okay, good. Thank you. That's all I need to. Woo! Whoever's got the perfume, I'm loving it because I stink. What's her trash can? How are you? Welcome back to halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we've seen just about everything we need to see. We need to see a little bit more of it in the second half. Tahlequah starting off the game, Coach, with the opening first down, taking it, how long was it? 59 yards, opening kickoff, or goes to the first down.
Yes, 59-yard run by Day Leathers at the 11:42 mark.
Wow.
So 18 seconds into the first period, we're on the scoreboard. One offensive play.
One offensive play. They've had plenty of those. Seen a couple of missed passes. One almost pick six over here by Tahlequah. They need to work on that just a little bit. But the running game's there.
Yeah, and we've got receivers out there. They've mixed it up in passing right now. We've seen both Tate Christian and Simeon Armstrong throwing the ball a little bit.
Right.
The receivers have been there. We just got to get the ball where it needs to go. We've thrown several flare passes out to the outside. The Tigers have picked up every one of those so far, so we've been good. And we just saw Day Leather score there with a few seconds to go. I believe 29 seconds to go in the halftime. He scores right down the middle of the field on a 37-yard touchdown pass.
Just wide open in the middle, and that one was perfect strike in stride. And that's something that Coach Bradley Gilbert was talking about on Tuesday and also on the pregame show here, is that the quarterbacks that are throwing this year are going to need a little bit of experience throwing that football, and that's going to come over time. But the running game, everybody's got experience with that, and it seems like we're right back into the same we were at the end of last season. The running game's working, and it shows on the scoreboard, 30-7. Fort Gibson needing to make some changes at halftime. Anything? Would you change anything on Tahlequah?
Well, Lou, personally, right now, I'm biased. I'm kind of the old Charlie Cooper theory of doing what's working and staying with it. I think that's what you're seeing a little bit here from Brad Gilbert. They're mixing things up well.
Yeah.
We're not seeing hit them right, hit them left. We're mixing it up well.
I think
you're going to see Brad continue to do that. I mean, with the talent they've got this year, they need to be the benefactors of every one of those receivers. Those running backs have to have good days. My gosh, what can we say about the two Fuentes boys?
Oh, yeah.
At halftime,
The Tonka
they've
truck.
hit lead blocks that have just busted huge holes for the Tigers. Simeon Armstrong is over 100 yards for the first half. Scored on 3 touchdowns right now, I think, with 81 yards.
Yeah.
And then the 37-yard touchdown pass. 4 times he's been across the goal line tonight.
Now, those guys, when those two go shoulder to shoulder and turn the corner a couple of times tonight, they're just plowing the road.
Oh, my gosh.
It's amazing. I don't want to call them dozers because dozers move too slow. Maybe
I like your nickname. I mean,
you like Tonka trucks.
That's going to stick with me right now, the big Tonka trucks.
There you go. Well, we're going to take another break. When we come back here in just a moment, we've got something really unique we're going to do all season long for football and basketball season. We invited Matt Cloud, the athletic director at Tahlequah High School, to get set up with me and get all of the coaches in, including you, Elsie Miller, and all the head coaches and some of the assistant coaches as well for interviews, and basically to talk about their season, talk about the school, talk about their particular sport, so everybody gets a chance to get some radio time. So we're going to kick that off tonight and do that every halftime from now through the football season, and then we've got the opportunity to do that between basketball games and halftime there. It's going to be awesome.
The coaches love this because it gives us an opportunity to talk about the great kids we have. You know, coaches are only as good as the athletes they have.
And most of the time you only get asked about how was the game, how was the play, what do you got to adjust. But you don't get to talk about your coaching staff or the kids or the seniors.
Yes, and this is one of the few ways that we do it. And we get to personally push our own program. Most of us don't like to pull our own chain.
Yeah,
when given a chance to come on 102.1, we're ready to go.
There you go. Well, we're going to kick that off in our first season. This game is Tahlequah leading Fort Gibson 30-7. Matt Cloud, the athletic director, this perfect pick right there, is going to be the one to open up the coach's interview. That interview with the athletic department is coming up next. We'll take another time out and come back I think we got a commercial break, then we got the interview, and then another break, and we'll come back after our great sponsors in about 10 minutes. Again, the score, 30-7. Tahlequah Tigers leading Fort Gibson Tigers. And interview is coming up next with Matt Cloud here on Lakes Country 102.1. Oh, she didn't play the spot set. She did not play the spot set. Oh, I didn't put anything in that spot block? Okay, my fault. I'll fix that log. Or maybe John kicked it all out. Is it inside? Did he put that interview inside? Okay. Did you kick out a spot set in order to play the coach's interview? Okay. Then I need to add a third spot set to the halftime show. Just copy. Okay, copy the third one and copy the first one and make a third one if you would, sir. Okay. And we'll just do it later. Okay, I'm going to get out of the heat. I'll be back. Okay. I don't know if she wants me standing next to her out there in the cool air. I don't know what they're doing, but it went silent. Yes, what? We're outside trying to cool off. That's what I want. Perfect. Thanks. We're going to take the headset off. I'll be back in a few minutes, but put the radio back on so I know. How much more time we got on this? Don't say I never gave you nothing. Those are 5A teams. I think that's 5A. No, that's all. Listen to this spot. No, I'm sorry. That's about the fourth time, LZ, I've tried to get you to hear that commercial, and something has interrupted it. I'm just not going to point it out again. Thank you. That's priceless. Ford 24-0.
Yeah, saw that. Muskogee's winning.
Welcome back. Halftime real quick. About 5 minutes to go before we see the teams back out here. Marching bands have both been playing and doing a great job out there. And the cool thing is one marching band will watch the other. These kids love watching each other. They pick up tips from each other. I can tell you in the Siloam Springs prior game that started tonight, there at halftime, Siloam Springs is leading that one 24-0. And you, Coach, you said you had a score from Muskogee. They were leading?
Muskogee was up over McAllister. I believe it was 21. I just looked at that one. Lost it, Lou. There it is, 21-14 over McAllister in the second quarter. So Ruffers are getting one done down at home against McAllister Buffalo.
Last report on Sequoia Claremore and Hilldale. Hilldale is leading that one. Go back one. Current score, I think, is 27-10. Let me double check that real fast for you as this updates for us. And I know the games that are going on, Sequoia Tahlequah and Muldrow tonight. That game is over on our Billy Country side. I want to catch the other scores across the
Lou, here's a big score for the Tigers. Coweta at Wagner tonight, and at the halftime, the Coweta Tigers are up 14-0 over the Bulldogs of Wagner.
Wow.
That's next week's Tiger opponent.
Yeah, so we got Coweta Tigers and Tahlequah Tigers and Pryor Tigers and Fort Gibson Tigers all in one season.
We need to see some more Tigers.
Yeah, I guarantee it. Catoosa's leading the Southsaw Black Diamonds 27-7. They're at halftime. They are at Catoosa. Let's see. Give you a couple of more here. That's the Wagner Coweta you just saw. So Sequoia Tahlequah 14-0 at Muldrow Sequoia Tahlequah has got the lead in that game, and that's over on the Billy Country side. Western Heights on top of Stillwell. They're playing the Indians at home at Stillwell. Score 15-7.
That's a big trip for the Western Heights Jets.
Big game for them as well right there. And I'll try to get some more scores for you. About 3 minutes to go before. We haven't seen the players yet. Now, once the players hit the field, if it's inside that, right around that 3-minute mark, they're fine. But once they come back out on the field after adjustments and all of that, they'll make sure they got 3 minutes to warm up. And we'll take another timeout and get ready for that second half kickoff. We'll try to get some more scores for you. But a reminder, don't forget, coming up, the scoreboard wrap-up show with John Haynes is coming up later on tonight after this broadcast. He'll be live on the air and bring you all the scores from across the area, across our listening area, and get those scores to you. And that's coming up tonight at the end of this game. We'll take another 2-minute timeout for our great sponsors at halftime. Coming back with the second half activities. The third quarter is on the way here on Lakes Country 102.1. It's not sweat, it's rubber. There we go. There's 3A. Hilldale's leading Sequoia Claremore.
Big game in the Oklahoma City area. Carlisle over Midwest City. Number 1 and number 2. Number 1 in 5A, number 2 in 6A.
Wow. Go to leading Keys 20-0. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Tahlequah Tigers are making it back onto the field. They're already warming up. Fort Gibson now just coming back out. They stopped the clock with 22.1 seconds, and they'll reset it for 3 minutes. So we got a little bit more time here, Coach. I got to share a couple of more scores for you. Hilldale is leading Sequoia Claremore 34-0. They're already with 7 minutes to go. Last report in the second quarter of play. Also, Shakota leading Keys at Keys tonight. Shakota leading that game 20-0. See if I can get a couple of more here for you from our listening area. Grove is leading Veneta 6-0 right now. Okmulgee leading Beggs, or behind Beggs, 20-0. Wow, I didn't expect to see that score, to tell you the truth.
Chakota, you just mentioned them a minute ago, Lou, coached by Mr. Chad Hendricks, former Tahlequah High School football player, and doing a great job down there with the Wildcats. And
Locust Grove they have a long trip between the long rivalry between Locust Grove and Salina. They're like, what, 7-8 miles away. That'd be like Sequoia and Keys playing each other. Locust Grove's leading it right now. Actually, this was yesterday. This is the final score, 34-0. That was last night. Locust Grove getting the win there. Try to slide us back into some 2A scores for you. As again, the score here is 30-7. Tahlequah's on top, and we're about a minute and a half away from the kickoff of the second half. And we're keeping eyes on some of the teams that are in our listen area. Those are Muskogee, Tahlequah, Fort Gibson, Stillwell, Sallisaw, Hilldale, Coweta, Wagner, Locust Grove, Salina, Sequoia, Tahlequah, Keys, Eufaula, Vienne, Choteau, Macy, Kansas, Oklahoma, also Central Sallisaw, Watts, Webbers Falls, and of course our OSU and NSU. OSU upsetting. We expected them to win 58-17 over Missouri State, and Florida State 34-7 over NSU yesterday at Doc Wadley Stadium, which is where we're going to be next week.
I was a little disappointed in the OSU Missouri State score because my granddaughter's a freshman at Missouri State now,
Oh,
and she was hoping they'd pull that one out, but I didn't give her much hope.
oh my goodness. Eufaula and Vian are going at it. The Wolverines, we expected this score 23-0 over Eufaula right now, over the Ironheads. And anybody else, let me see if I can find.
Vian rich in tradition down there.
Yep.
Wolverines get her done about every year.
A couple of more I can see if I can find for you, but and you can always go what we do, go to Squirtle, go to Max Preps, and they just track them along. I've got like 9 teams as my favorites, so I keep a close eye on what all those teams are doing, whether it's football or basketball. All right, we're just about 30 seconds away from seeing the players come off the field. Fort Gibson Tigers taking a little extra time as expected in the locker room, Coach, and real quick adjustments that they probably need to make.
They just need to move the ball around a little bit and mix things up and try to take advantage of some Tiger mistakes, which so far they haven't seen. Too many of them anyway. And the Tigers need to keep things going the way they are right now. I just say mix it up. Keep changing quarterbacks in and out. Give them both a chance to play and use their abilities. And I think you'll see Brad do just that in the second half.
Well, I've been watching Simeon Armstrong and also Tate Christian right here on the sidelines while everybody's warming up. These two have been throwing that football back and forth, and they just kind of leisurely started warming up, and now they're throwing bullets at each other.
You know, there's another side to this too. We could possibly see both those young men on the field at one time. Simeon is a pretty good running back out there, and he's got pretty good hands too. He can catch the ball. I'm just saying it could happen.
All right. Well, Fort Gibson will get the football in this to start this second half, to open things up, and our current score is 30-7 as we get ready to start the third quarter of play. That is coming up here in just a moment. And I'll try to get you another score too as well. Although we're not carrying their broadcast this year, I'm still very interested in how our Hobart Riders are doing in Class A, so we're going to check on their score.
Lou, here's a big surprise across the state. The team that's knocked the Tigers out of the playoff the last 2 years, Oklahoma City McGinnis, coming in ranked number 2 in 5A, getting handled by Del City in the third quarter, 14-0.
Oh, wow. All right, so ready to kick things off here. Hobart is leading Drumright at Drumright 14-6. High, short kickoff, caught at the 35-yard line and popped as soon as he catches it, and a flag comes in because he did wave the arm for the fair catch. Brad Gilbert calls the player number 19 over and says, hey, guys, when he waves that arm in the air, and he's telling all of his players, when that arm goes up in the air, or maybe he's talking to the referee saying, hey, I never saw the arm go up.
I don't think he thought he brought it up high enough.
So the back judge will go to the captain. He did wave his arm with the fair catch, and he got popped. So they'll mark this off 15 yards. And then the referee will go over and talk to the huddle and say, when this fair catch, you got to raise that arm up in the air.
Hey.
Just underway, 30-7, third quarter of play. Fort Gibson with the football, 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Tahlequah with the lead, 30-7. Fort Gibson with a receiver on either side, set up with one back set. Quarterback's underneath in the center. Takes the snap, makes the handoff, rolls out to his left. Traffic has to cut, and it gets caught out on the left-hand side on a short pass. He's wrapped up, taken down, but makes forward progress as he comes in, and then a flag comes in late. There could be a block in the back. This could be even a hold or even a face mask. Couldn't tell. There was quite a few white jerseys there, but they're kind of showing that this is going to be against Fort Gibson.
Lou, I couldn't see who made the stop over there. It was too far away, but number 53, Blake Corn's the young man that put the pressure on the quarterback, forced him out of the pocket.
So this is going to be a holding penalty from the spot of the foul, so we'll back it up 10 yards. Put the ball at the 49-yard line in Tahlequah territory, so forward progress was 12 yards and a first down. The penalty takes it back 10 yards, so they're facing a 2nd and 8, or 1st and 8, pardon me. So to repeat the down, but only got 8 yards to go. Wide receiver left and right, one in right side in motion, cutting across, handoff. He's wrapped up back into the line of scrimmage and taken back down at the original line of scrimmage for a loss of about 2 yards. So it'll be a 2nd and 10, and a nice stop by Tahlequah right there. Big number 34 wrapping him up and not letting go, Isaac Strain.
Number 76, and Nathaniel Justice also in on that tackle.
Nick Nagano came in and just upset the whole thing, turned it upside down and put him on the ground. But
that's that big defensive line right there making some stops. It's what the Tigers need to see right now in the second half. Just keep everything contained. Don't let them get outside.
And I've seen different looks on the defensive line, anywhere from 3 to 5 different guys up there on that line.
But you can count on Blake Korn, Nathaniel Justice, and Brandon Davis to get the job done.
4-man front now on defense, out of the shotgun. Handoff late in the backfield. Quarterback's going to keep it, go to the right side. He's going to turn the corner, get out across midfield, down inside to about the 45-yard line.
Penalty flag at about the 48 there, Lou.
I think it was a hold or something on that far side of the field. Let's see who this is against. And the referee is going to call another holding penalty against Fort Gibson Tigers. They'll back it up 10 more yards.
Now, Isaac Strain was given the signal there and kind of got the word before we did, but
that's 2nd and 10. That's about 2 yards downfield. Will become a 2nd and 18 from about the 42. Or a 41-yard line, pardon me. They've got to get...
Looks like about 2nd and 18, Lou.
Yep, 2nd and 18. They're on their own 41. They got to get to the Tahlequah 41 for a first down. So still repeat the 2nd down. This is 4 plays in this series, and it's still only 2nd down.
3 of them have resulted in penalties. Not good for the Fort Gibson Tigers.
A negative 8 yards so far on the series. Hand off in the backfield, coming around the corner, turns the corner, out across midfield, bounces off a tackle, breaks one free all the way down inside the 40-yard line to about the 35, 36-yard line here maybe, where your knee went down. And a nice run by number 21, and that is Travion Woodworth. Bounced off a tackle at the secondary and bounced to his right and was able to get freed up and get downfield.
Kind of looked like that first series that the Tigers had with Fort Gibson when we didn't tackle real well.
Needed 18, got 23 on that carry. So from the 36, it's 1st and 10 in Tahlequah territory. Fort Gibson with the football. 10-19 to go in the third. 30-7 our score. Quarterback rolls to his left, looking to pass, dumps it across the middle. It's caught at about the 25. Ball comes loose and ripped loose, and then finally number 5 jumps onto it. I think the ball was stripped loose by one of the Tahlequah Tigers on that tackle, and jumping on it was number 5 for the Fort Gibson Tigers, Connor Brown, and that's at about the 17, 18-yard line, so first down again here.
Carson Ladd was the big young man there, 6'3", 210-pound receiver that caught that pass and coughed it up.
10:06 on the clock, third quarter of play. Clock's running. The Fort Gibson Tigers knocking on the door inside the red zone. 1st and 10, I formation, quarterback under center. Here's a handoff in the backfield. He's across the 15. Ball comes loose again, and Tahlequah may have it this time. And they'll blow the play dead, but they're still scrambling for the football. Number 34 comes up with it for Tahlequah, and it's a turnover.
Number 34 is Isaac Strain.
Some kind of pop inside of there. The ball just squirted out to the right. Isaac Strain just jumped in on top of it, and Tahlequah saves a little touchdown area there.
Little bit of extra activity after that fumble right there, because Isaac never went down. He just bent down, picked it up, and tried to come out running with the ball.
And one of the players came in helmet first there.
Yeah.
That's one of the things they're watching this year at Oklahoma, that helmet-to-helmet contact and helmet-first contact. I've already seen in scrimmage them referees calling that play and then walking up and warning players about that. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I watched the scrimmage, and they actually made the player go to the sidelines for one play or two plays. Handoff backfield, Day Leathers hit at the line of scrimmage, and Johnny Fuentes reached in and grabbed him by the shoulder pads and was pulling him forward while he had 3 red jerseys wrapping him up. Forward progress may get him out there to back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about it.
Yeah, they marked it right at the line of scrimmage for the Tigers. Looked like big number 56 there for Fort Gibson, Hunter Lawson, a 6'1", 265-pound senior defensive lineman making the stop.
Yeah, bad, big hit. Day Leathers ran into a wall right in front of him.
Day Leathers is in there at about 150.
4 wide receiver set. We're going to see 2 left, 2 right, both in the near hash mark. 1 back set is Day Leathers. And Tate will take a timeout for Tahlequah. We'll take it as well. 8:58 to go in the third. 30-7 our score. First time out of the third quarter. And that is coming up right now. This is Lakes Country 102.1. I'm bringing a fan with me next week. I'll be in the air conditioning next week.
Next week it'll be 24 degrees.
Yeah, it better not be. I'll be stuffing paper into the vent.
I'd just be happy to have my ears air conditioned.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is 8:58 to go. Third quarter of play. Tahlequah Tigers a 2nd and 9 from their own 19. 30-7 the lead for the Tahlequah Tigers. And I don't know what the delay was, but the referees had a delay. Now we'll start the clock and go. The snap, 4 wide receivers set. Christian rolls out, throws it upfield. Had somebody grab him on the left arm and kind of spun him as he let go of that, and it's at the feet of the intended receiver, number 23,
Quayshawn Leathers.
How do you say his name, Quayshawn?
Quayshawn.
Quayshawn Leathers.
That would be the younger.
He tried to come back to it, but Tate having that left arm grabbed and started to turn him around, that ball's going to obviously be a little bit short. All right, so now we got a 3rd down and 9. Tahlequah Tigers got to get 9 yards here. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Out of the shotgun, going to the air, looking downfield, long, deep, so up in the air, and intercepted at about the 47-yard line. Number 5 comes up with it for the Fort Gibson Tigers. Great coverage by Connor Brown. Stayed in front of the receiver and just jumped up in front of him and pulled it out of the air.
I'm not so sure the quarterback's arm wasn't hit again, because that ball took a shot straight up in the air and really high.
He had traffic in front of him. So an interception here puts Fort Gibson in great field position. 1st and 10 from their own 47.
Well, that's one of those turnovers that we've talked about. We don't want the Tigers to do right there, but, you know, at least it's as good as a good punt. So,
well, the one thing I see a change there is the defense for Fort Gibson was behind the receivers in the first half. Now they're getting in front of them there. So good job coverage there. Man in motion, hand off in the backfield. Number 21 goes to the left-hand side, tries to turn the corner. He's wrapped up, taken down. There's a flag. Comes in just at the contact's made. He gets out to about the 48, maybe the 49-yard line as he goes to the left side.
Tavion Woodworth on the carry for Fort Gibson.
And the stop was made by either number 44 or 54 here. Let me see who that is. Number 34 on the stop for Tahlequah. That is Isaac Strain. And Fort Gibson again. And then what is it called? Is it a hold?
I believe it was right there.
They'll mark off another 10 yards. That's the 3rd holding penalty in this quarter by the Fort Gibson Tigers.
Not good. When you're down that many, you're down 23 points and you're going backwards on offense.
Well, he picked up about 6 yards on the carry and negated that. The hold backed it up all the way to the 37-yard line. They've got to get to the Tahlequah 48 for a first down. So you're looking about a 2nd and 18 again, or 1st and 18. Out of the shotgun, handoff, left-hand side, he's spinning, gets across the line of scrimmage, back out to about the 45, maybe the 46.
Woodworth once again on the carry for Fort Gibson. He's been getting the bulk of the carries in this second half.
So they're going to mark this ball with about an 8-yard pickup, so we're going to have a 2nd and 10 from the original line of scrimmage and about the 47-yard line in Fort Gibson territory. 7:53 to go, 3rd quarter of play. Tahlequah up 30-7. Lou Kelly along with Elsie Millard. Tahlequah got a man in motion, or Fort Gibson man in motion, left to right. Hand off in the backfield. He tripped over the quarterback's foot. I think he actually stepped, and he got back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a couple more as he fell forward. But that handoff into the hands of number 21, Tavion Woodward, I think he got his toe caught up at the quarterback and was bobbling forward and finally got wrapped up and taken down. But he picked up 2 yards on the carry.
Got something positive out of it. That's
little contact made, just a mistake on the route.
This series, it's been positive yardage and losses, so let's hope that holds true here on this 3rd down for Fort Gibson.
48-yard line, 3rd down and 8 for Fort Gibson. 2 receivers right, I formation, quarterback's under center. Here's a snap, fakes the handoff to the fullback, rolling out to the near side of the field. Cuts upfield, tucks it in, hit from behind and taken down for a loss. And a flag comes in late. The referee gets run over by one of the players.
Well, I believe we're going to get a late hit there on Dylan Parrish for the Tigers. He came in there and looked like he tried to go over the guy.
Yeah.
But there was contact as he was already down. So.
And Brad Gilbert wants an explanation, but he dove over the guy, did make contact with him, and then rolled over and ran into the legs of the referee. You know, when you run into the legs of the referee, he saw the play.
Yeah, he was there.
So
and it's one of those.
Go ahead.
Lou, that's one of those situations where it's a judgment call, and the official's right there. You got to go with it.
Yep.
You
and
can't
he's not going to
change
change his mind. So a 15-yard penalty will move the chains for Fort Gibson after that personal foul. The ball will be placed at the 39-yard line in for Tahlequah territory. Fort Gibson with 2 receivers, one right, one left. Quarterback under center, one back set is number 21. He gets the handoff, goes to the left side, turns the corner in traffic. He's wrapped up and taken down. Whoever the end is over there, big number 77 with the big arm out there, hooked him, and everybody else came in to help Brandon Davis. Just kept that big arm out there. That's like running into a tree branch.
That guy's big enough to fill a couple of holes out there. And Brandon Davis is a name that we've mentioned a lot last year, and he's a senior this year, and you can expect to say it a lot more, Lou.
His name is Brandon Davis, 6'4", 275-pound senior, and that boy is stock. He's not heavy, fat at all. He's just a rock.
He's a big boy.
6:02, clock running, 3rd quarter. Man in motion from right to left on the receiver end. Fakes the handoff and wrapped up in the backfield, breaks out of a tackle, breaks out of another one. He's taken for a big loss of about 8 or 9 yards.
Looks like Brandon Davis and I believe that's number 45, Zach Fuentes there on the stop.
Looks like they had 2 backs back there, and they were doing crossing routes right around front and behind of the quarterback, and it didn't fool the defense at all. It just actually pulled him in.
I believe we're seeing the first of the cramping going on right now.
Number 11, I saw him reaching for his toes. That's Cole Goodnight. Grab some water or Gatorade, get down on your back, and let somebody stretch that toe out, and do it quick.
Bryce Reddick will be on him here in a heartbeat.
Hands him a Gatorade. Start stretching it out, rubbing that calf. Man, when I got those, I used to hate the way coaches dug into that calf. If you had hairy legs,
nothing hurts worse than one of those.
I'm telling you. 2 receivers right out of the shotgun, rolling to his right, and the play clock ran to 0. We'll have a delay of game.
Somebody moved before the snap.
Fort Gibson got a few things to work on. That's
well, that's why we play these preseason games.
That's
where
right.
They don't count for anything, because in about 3 weeks, you'll start playing district play, and every one of them counts.
That's right. And we've said it, you and I have said it so many times, Tahlequah losing to Fort Gibson doesn't, over the last several years, does not hurt Tahlequah. It helps Fort Gibson to get that win against Tahlequah because it gives people give them a better look. But losing to Fort Gibson doesn't hurt Tahlequah. Now, the other way around, Fort Gibson losing to Tahlequah, a 5A school, doesn't hurt them. It's a great tune-up game. 4:51 to go, clock running, 3rd quarter, 30-7, Tahlequah leads it. Fort Gibson with a 3rd and about 22 from their own 49 after that sack. Back to pass, looking deep, launching it down the sidelines and over the outstretched hands of number 24. And incomplete, number 17 for Tahlequah. That's Colton Booth, had the better look at it.
That was Brandon.
Carson Ladd was the intended receiver.
Brandon Davis and Isaac Strain both putting pressure on the quarterback right there. Made him get rid of that one early. Good defensive pressure.
4th and 22. We'll see the kicking team come out.
Haven't seen a lot of punting tonight. I believe this is the second one of the night, isn't it?
I think you're correct. Second punt of the night.
Maybe the third, because I remember we almost had one block.
We had one block on an extra point.
Yeah.
Here's the snap, high, and the kick, spiral. Hits at about the 20, inside the 10, all the way down inside the 5, followed by the Fort Gibson Tigers down to the 3. What a great kick from the 49-yard line in Fort Gibson territory. They'll mark this ball at the 4-yard line. That's an excellent kick right there by the Fort Gibson Tigers.
That's what you want out of a punter right there.
Kick it to the corner.
Put the other team in a spot where they can't get to the ball, can't run it back. And
if you can kick a spiral off your foot with a football and it'll hit the ground and lunge forward like that, go towards the corner, it's a perfect kick.
The Tigers have got to go 96 yards now for a touchdown.
And that ball, I think, hit originally at about the 22-yard line and went forward. And they were coming so fast, though, the Tahlequah Tigers were smart not to go to it.
Well, we had sophomore Kobe Baker back there on the reception. He just stayed away from it, wasn't even going to try to run it back.
That's a 47-yard punt. Tahlequah Tigers, 1st and 10, 2 receivers right, ball bobbled in the end zone. He'll come out to the far side, turn the corner, and get out of bounds. All right, that'll be a safety. Knocked out of bounds before he could get out of the end zone. I thought he made it past the pylon. The ball was bobbled in the backfield. I got quiet because I wanted to hear exactly what they were going to call there. I apologize. I could not see the play as it run away from me in the far corner there. Quarterback had a shotgun snap off to his left. He bobbled it, picked it up, took off running, and tried to get to the corner and get back into the field to play, but got knocked out of bounds before he got out of the end zone. That's a 2-point safety in Fort Gibson's favor, and they'll get the football back. And we've got a timeout on the field. We'll take it as well and come back in 30 seconds. This is Tahlequah Tiger football on Lakes Country 102.1. Next break will be between quarters. And we are back. And a reminder that third quarter challenge, field goal challenge, happens only at the home games, by the way, at Doc Wadley Stadium. Here's the kickoff. High spiral. Caught at the midfield at 49-yard line. Fair catch called for. But again, number 2 barely gets his hand up into the air. And the referee has a conversation with him, says, hey, you've got to get that arm all the way up in the air. That's the second time he's done that. Take a chance if you're trying to do a fair catch and you just barely raise your arm up.
That's what Brad was talking to the officials about on the last one.
Stick that arm up in the air.
Raised up, the elbow's bent. It's not a fair catch until that arm's extended up there.
That's right. You just barely stick your hand up, the defense can just wipe you out, and that's dangerous.
Bad deal about this is Tigers gave up 2 on the safety. Have to give the ball right back to Fort Gibson in our territory. Tigers need to get tough on defense.
And a short, high kickoff puts Tahlequah or Fort Gibson in great field position from the Tahlequah 48, 1st and 10. 4:16 to go, third quarter of play. Double tight end stack, receiver moving from left to right, handoff coming over the middle, cut up about the 45, down to the 40, and take it down there. 32 with the assist. Zach was there, also number 25 with the initial hit, Danny Lopez.
Ball was carried by Fort Gibson's Tavion Woodward once again.
Zach Fuentes in on that play as well as Carson Ferguson, number 32. But the initial hit, Danny Lopez wrapped him up. Pick up 8, 2nd and 2. Man in motion again from right to left. This time he gets the handoff. Number 1 turns the corner, follows the lead block, gets out across the 30, breaks loose, 20, 10, 5 into the corner, a touchdown, Fort Gibson. Nice lead block. No flags on the field. Excellent offensive play by the Fort Gibson Tigers to just take it across the left-hand side with the receiver in motion from right to left. Turns the corner and takes it to the house.
40-yard touchdown by Fort Gibson. That was Codell Ford on the carry.
It is now 30-15 and a chance for them to kick the extra point and make it a 30-16 game. Remember, they did get a touchdown and an extra point before. Here's the second one. It's on the way and good, plus the safety makes it a 30-16 game. Time out on the field. We're going to keep it right here at Lakes Country 102.1. By the way, this is KEOK Tahlequah. The show is produced by Megan Zibelman under the direction of our sports director, John Haynes. John's busy getting the Keys game ready to go as well. Sequoia was leading at Muldrow. Keys was behind Chakota, I believe. They have Chakota at home. Next week, the Tahlequah Tigers facing Coweta at home at Doc Wadley Stadium on Friday night. And Coach, I won't get to have you there because you'll be the stadium announcer, but remember Brian Duke. He is going to join us on the home games as the color commentator, so you guys will split duties this year. That'd be kind of cool. 3:30 to go, third quarter of play. The Fort Gibson Tigers, you said a 41-yard touchdown run, make it a 30-16 game, and the Tigers will have to kick off. And we got to see if they're going to kick it deep or kick it shallow again. They kicked the first one kind of deep. Ever since then, they've been kicking into that second line for the Tahlequah Tigers, or even the third line, back at about the 30-yard line. And I'm sure that Simeon Armstrong and Day Leathers would like to come up and get their hands on one and take it to the house. We'll try to anyway. Ready for the kickoff. Hands in the air, here we go.
Long kick.
A long kick, gonna go way over the head, and that's gonna hit the goal line and go out the back of the end zone. So this time they want to set Tahlequah Tigers at the 20. He put a leg to that thing, did he not?
We haven't seen that all night, and all of a sudden here in the third quarter they score a couple times and he puts one in the end zone.
That one hit right at the goal line, so from where they marked that at the 40-yard line, that is a 60-yard kickoff in the air. Well, you got about a 10-yard running start to get your foot into it, and he got a hold of it well.
Lou, an update on that Sequoia Tahlequah score, 14-0 over Muldrow in the fourth quarter, just now starting.
Wow. 14-0 at halftime, so no change. Here we go, Tahlequah Tigers from their own 20, 1st and 10, moving right to left on your radio. Ball bobbled and picked up and handoff, and back to the line of scrimmage. The center, that's his second or third bad snap in this quarter.
Tigers need to do something right now, Lou, to break the momentum from away from Fort Gibson.
Right.
Need a big play.
Big play. And Tate Christian is talking to his guy saying, hey, let's calm down, let's get ready. Two receivers left this time, one back set to the left and behind Tate's Christian. He looks to the sideline. Big number 44, left tight end. He's double stacked, that's Johnny Fuentes. Out of the shotgun, handoff, turns upfield, cuts back the other way, gets across the line of scrimmage, back to the original line of scrimmage, and out to about the 21 maybe.
Johnny Fuentes is once again on the corner block there that got him a couple of yards.
Made it to the 21. The referee stepped up there, picked up the football, and just sidesteps and put it right back on the 20. So we got a 3rd and 10. Picked up a yard there. It should be 3rd and 9. But he just sidestepped, put it right back on the 20-yard line. Maybe that's where his knee went down. So a 3rd and 10. Two receivers right, two receivers left, one back in the backfield. Tate Christian out of the shotgun and a flag, and they blow this one dead as that play clock runs out. Back it up 5 more yards, making it a 3rd and 15. Delay of game by Tahlequah. And we have a long third quarter here.
Still 2:02 to go in the quarter, and Tigers really haven't had the ball for very long either.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the broadcast. We appreciate you tuning in. The Tahlequah Tigers leading Fort Gibson at Fort Gibson 30-16. Next week, the Tahlequah Tigers will face Coweta at home at Doc Wadley Stadium on the NSU campus. Looking forward to that football game as the Tigers take over Gable Field next Friday night. This is the season kickoff. Another bad snap, and the quarterback's going down at the 5, and that's the 4th bad snap by the center in this third quarter alone. Maybe time, Brad Gilbert's got his hands on his hips. Maybe time to talk to that center and say, hey, you all right? Are you cramping up? What's the deal? That's 4 bad snaps.
Big number 58, Zane Potter for Fort Gibson, 275-pound defensive lineman making that stop behind the line.
One of the coaches talking to the center now on the sidelines. Here's the punt from the end zone. Spiral all the way out. Takes a Tahlequah bounce at the 30, out of bounds at about the 33. It's a great field position again for the Fort Gibson Tigers, and an opportunity with their adjustments at halftime to move even closer. It's 30-16, so we've got a 14-point lead, but 1 touchdown makes this a 7-point game.
2-score game right now, and the Tigers need to stretch it out or hold here. And
1:19 left to go in the third. Reminder, coming up tonight, we'll have our post-game show. Talk about stats and activities during the game. I'll set you up for next week. Try to get you a few scores from tonight. No, we won't do that in our post-game show. We'll leave the scores to John Haynes. He's got the Friday night scoreboard wrap-up coming up tonight live. 2 receivers right, 1 left for Fort Gibson. 1st and 10 from the 32. Quarterback's going to keep it. Comes to the near side of the field, chased down from behind, tripped up and taken down, but manages to get back to the line of scrimmage. Big number 53, Matthew Shelton, reached in there and got one of his ankles and made him turn upfield in a diving capacity.
Angel Quezada making the stop for the Tigers. That's the first time we've called his name tonight. But good penetration across the line, contained well, and made the stop.
Game clock at 50 seconds. Play clock at just now running. It's at 22, now at 46 on the game clock. So time to get off one more play here before we go to the fourth quarter and change ends. Fort Gibson facing a 2nd down and 10 from the Tahlequah 32. Down to 6 seconds. Down to 4, waiting for the snap. And there it is with 1 second to go. A handoff. 21 squirts right through. Goes up. Gets across the 20. Down to the 15. Inside the 10. He's wrapped up and taken down. Just a big hole opened up on the line. And he just shot through it. And the secondary had to catch him. And he'll get all the way down to about the 5-yard line. It'll be a Fort Gibson 1st down with 17.4 seconds to go.
Ooh, this game's going to get it exciting right here in a minute.
Greg Whiteley would love to punch it in here just before going to the fourth and final quarter with a 7-point deficit.
Made some good adjustments, and Fort Gibson's got a little bit of momentum going right now.
It's 30-7 at halftime. It's now 30-16, and Fort Gibson, they placed the ball in the 8 after his knee went down, but it's 1st and goal from the 8. And they're going to let it go to the fourth quarter of play, let the clock run out. We'll take a timeout and come right back here in just 1 minute after these fine words from these great sponsors here on Tahlequah Tiger Football, Lakes Country 102.1. Megan, it's the end of the night. Be sure to put the final score on that football. Be sure at the end of the night to sign that broadcast sports block clock and date it and put the score of the game on there for me. Okay, I don't have a minute. You got like 10 seconds before the commercial's over. We'll talk later. Shouldn't be any noise in the hall. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Kelly, Elsie Miller, the fourth and final quarter. It's 30-16. In the third quarter of play, Fort Gibson Tigers able to score a touchdown and force an upset and a safety in the end zone against the Tahlequah Tigers and went up 9 points here. And they're right back in this thing. Now they're on the 8-yard line with a first and goal.
Going to get interesting. That safety could be a big, big factor in this ball game before it's all said and done.
And referee stopping the game. Is there a flag or a penalty? Not sure what it is. They're still first down. I think they didn't stop. They didn't get the place clock set to 25. Now they got it set to 25. So that's what it was. The play clock was still at 0 after the third quarter of play. Now we're set. It's running. Out of the I formation, hand off to the fullback. He'll turn up the corner. He gets hit at the 7-yard line, wrapped up and taken down. And a great defense and a stop here by the Tahlequah Tigers. Who hit him first, Elsie? Big 17 for the Tahlequah Tigers with the band coming off the bottom. Colton Booth. Big number 77 was in there as well on that one.
Brandon Davis.
Brandon Davis.
Tigers need to get tough right here, get a hold on 2 more downs, and then force them to kick a field goal, or
they need to bust the ball loose, something, 3 and out, force a field goal. I agree with you. Hand off late, number 21 turns upfield. He's hit, stretches out across the line, and he is going to get in for the touchdown. Ball got to the ground first. He did a good job. That's 21 who stretches out. Tavion Woodworth reaches out with the football, and the football hits the end zone before his body hits at the 2. And that's a touchdown for the Fort Gibson Tigers with 11:06 to go in the game. It's 30-22. First half, it was all Tahlequah Tigers in the 37 lead going into the locker room. So far, this half, it's the Fort Gibson Tigers. 2 touchdowns and a safety. That was a 7-yard run by number 21, Tavion Woodward, for the Fort Gibson Tigers. And we have a timeout on the field after that touchdown. We'll have the kickoff here in a couple of moments. So I've actually got a timeout before the extra point. I think they're trying to ice him down. We'll keep it right here for a second because we're looking at a timeout after the extra point attempt.
Tigers need to be looking out here for a fake field goal.
Yep, it's 30-22. It's an 8-point game. Going for 2 would make it a 6-point game and a chance for Fort Gibson to score again and take the lead by 1. Can't let this happen. This happened 2 years ago, but Fort Gibson came from behind and won this game and scored late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They are setting up to go for a field goal, but I'm sure special teams for Tahlequah are saying, watch number 19, make sure he's going to kick. And he does. Ball is on the way. It is good. Call it a 30-23 game. 7-point difference.
That ball could have been a 40-yard field goal.
That was over the concession stand. Wow. All right, we'll take a 1-minute timeout, or pardon me, a 30-second timeout and come right back. Tahlequah Tigers lead is now 30-23 here on Lakes Country 102.1.
Be sure to put the score at the bottom.
Yeah, make. Thank you. Don't forget to sign it, date it. Tiger Stadium, but the Tigers from Tahlequah lead it 30-23, and Coach, the second half, it's all been Fort Gibson.
Well, they've scored 3 times since the opening kickoff here, and it's gotten interesting right now.
Conversion as well, and missed an extra point. And it's a 7-point game, 30-23. And you can bet they're going to try to go for maybe a 10-yard onside kick, and they will. And they'll kick it to the far side and out of bounds.
Tigers going to get it on the 40.
Yeah, Tigers will get it on the 40. Looked like he was setting up to kick a 10-yard onside kick or a short kick and tried to recover. Then at the last second, he just put the foot to it and out it went.
Trying to play a little sleight of hand right there, and it didn't work in their favor because the Tigers are going to get the ball in pretty good field position.
I think he intended to hit it at the top of the ball with his foot, but I think he caught it right in the middle because that ball was just like looked like a basketball going out of the football stadium. Didn't have any flip to it hardly at all.
Tigers haven't had any real positive movement this second half. They need to get something started right here in the fourth quarter.
Here we go. Twin Dozers out there, the Tonka trucks. Day coming out the left-hand side, turns the corner out, and a face mask at about the 45-yard line. And that's one that took him off his feet. That was a dangerous one. Now the referee's quickly over to check on Day, but he's back up off his feet. The flags came in from every which direction. That'll be the 15-yard variety.
Well, should be a 15-yard morality.
That was a 10-yard run and a 15-yard penalty on the face mask, which took him down, and that'll move the ball 25 yards down to the Fort Gibson 40, and we have a Fort Gibson player down in the backfield, back behind where the quarterback was.
Ends up being a 20-yard gain for the Tigers on the play.
25. They marked the ball from the 40. Well, that was a 20-yard gain. So it's a 10-yard penalty.
Well, that's one of those type that can hurt a runner, and the officials are good in making that call and need to make that call every time that it happens.
That was a 5-yard run, not a 10-yard run. We still got a player down at Fort Gibson. They're working. It looks like might be Chaff. He is sitting up. And he is sitting at about the 32-yard line. And they got him up to his feet. And good. He's got a limp on the right-hand leg.
And he's got cramp. That's number 70, Gavin Beaver, a 6 foot, 245-pound senior defensive lineman.
So that right leg is a cramp, and now he's starting to walk it off and get a little bit better. Got him to his feet, and he was limping. I'm telling you, I've had those. Once they put you onto your feet and you try to put that foot down, it don't want to go, and you just can't do anything.
You know, really, Lou, we've only had 2 of those so far, so we've been lucky on a night like this where the humidity's high and the temperatures are high as well. It's not good for the athletes.
And the trainers here on the sidelines, the student trainers, are carrying around the water bottles and making these guys drink. So even if they're not playing, drink. Keep that fluid going. All right, 2 receivers to the right. The Tonka trucks leading the way. Day follows. Across the 40. Turns upfield. Down inside to the 35. Still digging on his feet. Pushes forward and out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
Lou, that's number 32, Carson Ferguson, on the carry for the Tigers. He's a 155-pound sophomore.
And the Tonka trucks turned the corner and plowed the road for him. And they had to go around. They had to go around Fuentes. And Fuentes, Johnny and Zach, they had to go around him just to get to Day. He picks up 8 yards on the carry.
Ferguson once again in his setback back there.
The Fuentes boys are at either end of the line, both tight end positions. Tate out of the shotgun. Day Leathers. Nope, that's number 32 on the carry. He'll turn up the field, goes out to the 30, turns the corner, and he's down. And he'll pick up a first down over there. Number 32 is Carson Ferguson on the carry.
Brandon Davis and Zach Fuentes once again leading the play right there. Those guys get out there and get their shoulders into somebody, they're going to open up a big hole pretty soon.
You know, I'm going down a highway or down a road and things aren't, weather's not great and all that. Who would you want to be behind? I want to be behind one of them big old trucks.
You betcha.
I like the nickname Tonka trucks. There's 2 of them out there.
Well, those guys are 5'7", both of them, and they weigh about 225 and 215 pounds apiece.
They'll measure it, and this is a first down for the Tahlequah Tigers, so they'll move the chains. You know, it is a Cherokee National holiday. We could call them the Tatonka trucks, because Tatonka is buffalo.
I thought of that a while ago.
Well, we could do that. The Tatonka truck. Tate trying to draw a man off sides. It's not going to work on the count. Got 2 receivers to the right. Carson Ferguson behind him. And the Fuentes boys at either tight end position on opposite ends of the line. Here's the snap, quick handoff. Number 32 turns the corner into traffic, and he's taken down quickly. 10 minutes to go.
Loss of about 5 on the play for Ferguson. Brought down by Fort Gibson, number 25, Tegan Thornball.
Make it a 2nd and 15 from the 35. And I don't see where Day Leathers is or the others. Maybe they're just sidelined. Oh, he's going to be here getting watered down. And number 32 getting some experience on the field. Great run on the last one for Carson, but this time he just turned into traffic.
Got a penalty on the Tigers here, it looks like, Lou, and I missed that call.
See what they're going to mark off here.
Well, we're walking up to the line. The ball is going to be placed at about the 32-yard line.
Okay, going to place the ball at 32, so instead of a 2nd and the 5-yard penalty was marked off. So now the referee and one of the guys want to talk about it. The flag's on the far side of the field. Head judge, line judge, back judge, all talking together.
Well, we either went 3 yards back on the penalty before the play or 2 yards forward. I don't understand the call here.
So we have a 2nd and about 13 now for Tahlequah. Ball's placed at the 33-yard line. They've got to get to the 20 for a first down. And it's a 2nd down. They need to move the football right here. Tate Christian, Day Leathers back in there. The Fuentes boys, Day Leathers is hit as soon as he gets the football. Number 56 on the blitz. And a flag coming in as he spiked him drove him right into the ground.
Hunter Lawson on the stop for Fort Gibson, and I believe they're going to get him there for taunting, maybe.
Once you jump up over a player, you can't do anything. Personal foul against Fort Gibson. They'll mark off 15 and give them a first down here.
That was a big defensive play for the Tigers, too, and when you do something like that and then you get up and throw that taunt in there, it kills your momentum.
Well, that ball is going to be placed at about the 22. So Tahlequah looking at getting the down over again as well. So it'll be a 2nd and 2 instead of a 2nd and 13. They went from the spot of the foul. So a 2nd and 2 for the Tahlequah Tigers and a gift here by Fort Gibson. Christian out of the shotgun. The Fuentes boys on the right-hand side pass it right down the middle into the end zone and out of the outstretched hands. Nice play right over the middle. Just a little too long for number 13, Jackson Jones, but he had to dive out there to go after it and didn't quite get it.
Oh, it was thrown just a little bit in front of him right there. Jackson got a hand on it, but hard to handle when you're stretched out like he was.
3rd and 2. That stopped the clock with 9:18 to go in the 4th quarter. 30-23. Tahlequah Tigers have let Fort Gibson score all this second half. They've got to punch something in here and extend that lead just a little bit. Out of the shotgun, Day Leathers taking the direct snap. He'll turn upfield, gets across inside the 10, and makes enough for the first down and a little bit more down inside to about the 8-yard line before getting wrapped up and taken down there. Number 24 finally on the stop is Carson Ladd, but the direct snap to Day Leathers, number 20, and he moves the ball up the field and the chains.
Tigers just need to keep running that clock.
So there's a different look right there we haven't seen yet.
Get a score on the board, stretch it out a little bit, take care of the clock.
Zach Fuentes to it right. Day gets the lead block again, turns the corner, cuts back the other way, back inside the 10, down to about the 7-yard line. And Day makes something out of nothing because he was hit back at the 11 and still able to turn upfield.
It's like a Fort Gibson player hurt on the field right there.
Might it just be a cramp? We've seen several of them this game.
That's the young man that made the initial hit right there, and he's still laying on the field. Tahlequah Tiger trainer Bryce Ruddick out onto the field to assist whatever he can till the Fort Gibson trainers get there.
And we're at 8:44 to go in the game, and this second half has taken quite a while. We're already at 9:20. The first half was over in a heartbeat, it seemed like. 8:44 to go. It's a 7-point lead. Tahlequah has it 30-23. And I think what we'll do is take another timeout here and come right back here. Again, the score 30-23. He's having a, wait a minute, I may keep it right here. He's back on his feet.
Number 11, Braden Morgan, the injured player right there, defensive back for Fort Gibson.
And
he's
another player down after they went over to the sidelines here, or over the inside the 15 over there to take a knee, and he got a cramp. So that's 2 cramps.
Well, Morgan's going to have to leave the field for one play. And it looks like there will be another one for Fort Gibson, so they're going to have some players come in to replace them.
Maybe an opportunity for Tahlequah to capitalize. Well, Gibson needs to start drinking fluids. It's a great game. Love watching it. And let's take care of those kids. All right, so Tahlequah will set up. Day Leather's still the quarterback. Johnny Fuentes at the double tight end stack. Zach Fuentes to the left side of Day. Low snap. Day takes the lead. Goes across inside the 5. He's down to the 4-yard line, wrapped up and taken down there. It'll be a 3rd down and goal from about the 4.
Just misdirection play by Day right there. Done a good job of finding the hole and ran into a crew of Fort Gibson Tigers right there.
Johnny Fuentes from that left end position just drove straight forward, and Zach Fuentes was on the left side of Day. Took the snap and cut to his right, and the defense looked like they were going to follow Zach, and Day cut back to the left.
Both Fuentes brothers are out right now. It looks like a passing situation for the Tigers, but don't be surprised if they don't run it on in.
3 wide receivers, man in motion left to right. Tate's back underneath the outside of the shotgun. Looking right, pass.
Oh, holding.
Batted down again.
Got him. Got a hold on number 5 there for Fort Gibson on the receiver. He went to catch the ball, and they were holding him in the back.
Yep, number 5 had number 11 for Tahlequah wrapped up. That's Cole Goodnight, and Cole Goodnight asking for the foul. And the referee picks up the flag and waves it off because it was tipped. The reason why it is waved off is because the ball wasn't catchable because it was batted down. If that ball that came to him, that flag would have stuck.
Looked like it was going right to him. He just couldn't get to it because he couldn't move.
So 4th and goal from the 4. Tahlequah will try to tow it up to the uprights. Tate Christian holding, Tanner Christian kicking. It's on the way. And this time it's through the uprights and good. Tahlequah makes something out of nothing here. Puts 3 on the board. Making a 10-point lead again, 33-23. Tahlequah Tigers with the lead with 7:45 to go in the 4th quarter. We'll take a break, come right back in 30 seconds. This is Tahlequah Tiger football on Lakes Country 102.1. What's your arms on that?
How far was that?
That was, ball was on the 5.
7.
So 15 yards.
7, 12, 22.
Well, it's 10 yards deep in the end zone, isn't it?
Yeah. So 10 plus 5.
That's 15.
And then 7 on the set.
Yeah.
So you kick it from the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, but they only count it from the line of scrimmage,
okay.
So it's a 5-yard field goal. Well, welcome back. Ball was on the 5 at the line of scrimmage, but 7 yards back is where they set it. 5 to 7 yards back, so maybe a 22-yard field goal to get through the uprights, but technically they'll count 5-yard field goal.
That's right.
The Tahlequah goes up 3, so it's now a 10-point lead for them again. But as you were saying earlier, they got to be smart defensively here and hold these Fort Gibson Tigers. They have scored twice, got a safety here in this 3rd quarter of play to get themselves back within 10 points when it was a 30-7 lead for Tahlequah at halftime. All right, ready for the kickoff. Tanner Christian set to tow it up. He's going to go deep down the middle, no, the right-hand side. It takes a Tahlequah bounce all the way inside the 10. The 5 picked up at the 2, starts to come out. He's hit at the 10-yard line and taken down. Great coverage out there by the Tahlequah Tigers. Number 8.
Number 8 is Hunter Smith for the Tahlequah.
On the initial hit. And number 5 came in there to help out, Dylan Parrish. So the Fort Gibson Tigers will have to march 90 yards if they want to get it into the end zone. It's 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line.
Lou, I just saw that number. That's number 6. That's
Number 6.
Bradley Pruitt that got one of the hits in there. He's out here cramping now. So Bryce Ruddick's on top of him.
Get some Gatorade, get some water in you. Fort Gibson Tigers send 2 receivers to the far right of the field. Ball to the near hash mark. 1 back set. Double tight end stack on the left-hand side. Here's the snap. Handoff at the backfield. He goes to the right-hand side of the line. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and he's going nowhere. There's a whole host of white jerseys collapse on him and take him down. Might have picked up a yard or so forward progress. Place that ball at about the 12. Picks up 2. 2nd and 8 for Fort Gibson. Clock running. 7:15 left in the game. 33-23 Tahlequah. Coach mentioned Tuesday, Bradley Gilbert was telling me, Brad Gilbert was saying, hey, I sure would like to win one of these. You got to hold on for another 7 minutes. Keep that lead. You can do it.
The Tigers are just looking to break this home field advantage that Fort Gibson's had over the last couple of years.
And we give them that advantage every year, and we will again next year. It's a great game. We love it. Back to pass. He's rolling out the screen. Hit as soon as he catches it and breaks a tackle at the 15, at the 20, 25, and knocked out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Number 25 finally takes him down. That's Danny Lopez. But number 24 on the reception, Carson Ladd, broke a tackle and got an extra 10 yards.
Tigers grabbing jerseys but not wrapping people up right there on the corner.
Mark the ball at about the 29-yard line, make that a 19-yard pickup and a first down for Fort Gibson. They stop the clock to move the chains. They'll restart it here. At the snap of the football, here we go. Now the clock has started. We're ready to go. Man in motion from left to right. Down to 7 seconds on the play clock and a timeout called by the Fort Gibson coaches. Coach Whiteley wants to talk to his players. He did not like what he was seeing. And we'll take another timeout. No, I don't think we have one. Taking care of all of our timeouts. We got to thank our sponsors, though. And we appreciate them so much coming on board this year and supporting the Tahlequah Tigers. Those are Barrett Spinal Care, Bank First, Casey's General Store, Bank of Cherokee County, Crohn's Quick Stop, First State Bank, Northeastern Health System, Southside Drive-In, Tahlequah Public Schools, Thunder Bowl, and Tommy Nix Auto Group. And a reminder, coming up next Friday night, Tahlequah Tigers will be at home against Coweta. And during the third quarter, someone will get to take that First State Bank field goal challenge in the third quarter. If they can make a 25-yard field goal in less than 90 seconds, they could win a check for $500 from First State Bank. Is it going to be you? The way it works is you go out to the football field and register, and they draw the name at halftime or during, and then after the third quarter starts and ends, between third and fourth quarter, you get called out of the field and take your chance. Handoff, sweeping around the right-hand side for Fort Gibson. Number 1 makes it back to the line of scrimmage after running about 20 yards to the far side of the field. He got hit and wrapped up, taken down immediately by one of the Tahlequah Tigers. Number 53 on the stop is Blake Korn. Good to see Blake Korn back out on the field.
Lou, I've just been informed that all night long we've been using the wrong name on that kicker for Tahlequah. That is number 2, Trey Patrick.
We sure have.
Yeah, a returning kicker from last year, doing the kicking tonight for the Tigers.
Trey Patrick, number 2.
Yeah.
So everything we said about Tanner Christian tonight,
you can forget.
You can forget it. None of that happened.
Well, he is the son of Brandon, so we got that right. But that
Trey
makes
Patrick
sense.
on the kicking.
Yeah,
All right.
that makes sense to me because he was our kicker last year at time.
And he's also defending now on defense out there as defending the receivers. Trey Patrick on the kick tonight.
Yeah. Trey actually was the backup kicker off and on during the season behind Hembry.
Yep.
And
I'm going to put that one on you. That'll be your second one because you're the first one that said Tanner.
And to be honest with you, I actually wrote down number 2 and been saying it number 3. I don't know how. We'll have it better.
So I've got 5 mistakes tonight. You got 2.
Okay. And I'll take that one.
That's 25 yards to your 10 yards. I'm negative 15 now. I got to score a little bit.
3 and you're out. Whatever. Well, it's good to know that, the young man's in there. He's put in a lot of time as a kicker, and it's kind of nice to know that he's in there doing his job tonight.
I'm jealous of these fans. They're sitting out there in the cool air, and we're in this hot little sweat box. They need to give it an air conditioner over here at Fort Gibson. I bet they can find a sponsor for that. But hey, I got to say, it's always been a pleasure for the last 20-something years to come to this football field. Odom Field and Fort Gibson Stadium is just absolutely beautiful. Great hospitality in Fort Gibson, Oklahoma. High snap for the quarterback and running straight up the middle and hit at the line of scrimmage and stopped immediately. I believe that's Tahlequah Tigers.
I believe that's number 1, Cordell Ford on the carry.
And number 5 on the hit and stop, Dylan Parrish. 5:15 clock running, 33-23. Fort Gibson Tigers would love to go downfield and put this in the end zone and make it a 3-point game. Now the Tahlequah Tigers enticing the fans to get back in the game. Don't get quiet. We're trying to win this thing.
3rd and 9, big down for Tahlequah.
Big defensive down here. Big one for Fort Gibson. They've got to convert. Flags come in as somebody jumped across the line. They'll blow the play dead. False start. Somebody moved. Which is it? It's a false start. They'll back it up 5 yards. Instead of a 3rd and 8, we'll have a 3rd and 13.
Big number 52, Peyton Stevens for Fort Gibson. Got away with a little bit of a late hit there on that block. And
I think we saw 3 penalty flags in the first half. How many have we seen here in the second?
A few.
By both teams. 3rd down and 13. Ball's now placed all the way back to the 25-yard line, just beyond it. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the game clock. They're still in the huddle and down to 13 on the play clock. And here they come out to get set up. 2 receivers right, 1 right, 1 left. Double tight end stack to the left. Out of the shotgun with 1 single back set. Back to pass. Looking. Rolled out. Wrapped up. Pushed out of bounds. Thrown downfield and overthrown. Intended for number 25. I believe that is. 24. Again, that is Carson Ladd at about the 40-yard line. Overthrew him. And an incomplete pass will make it 4th and 13, and we'll probably see the kicking team.
Pretty good pressure by the Tiger defense that time. Forced him out of the pocket all the way to the sideline over there, and he just couldn't make the connection on the pass. Had to get rid of it too quick.
I'm always impressed with the Tahlequah Tiger fans. They travel so well. The grandstands, I don't think there's a seat available. There's people standing down along the fence line.
I believe we've got more here than they do.
Here's the kick. It's going to bounce at the 48 in Tahlequah. Picked up and taken down by number 10. Jumped on the football, dove on it, and number 52 just kind of jumped across him, but no flags in the call. And, of course, jumping up was Kobe Baker going, hey, can I get a flag here?
That kind of looked like the same play that they did call earlier on.
Yeah.
Where we dove over the top of a player.
Ball's placed at the 43-yard line. It bounced at the 48. High bounce all the way back to the 45 or 44, and he dove out there on it. And then he got a late hit, but no call.
Jackson Jones on the wide left over there.
Look who's out there. Simeon Armstrong is quarterback. Day-Day Leathers behind him. Receivers to either side.
Zach Fuentes.
Double tight end stack. Quarterback's going to keep it. Simeon's going to go all the way up to about the 44, 45-yard line. He's going to pick up a couple.
You're going to see a little bit of ball control right now with the Tigers hanging on to a 10-point lead.
And
4 minutes to go.
And a nice move there.
This comes down to no mistakes from here on out.
Misdirection there as well, as we talked about earlier. The Tonka trucks went left. And Simeon Armstrong went right, then cut upfield. The defense kind of moved to the right as well.
You've got to honor the run by Day-Day Leathers. He can break one in a heartbeat, and Simeon should be the recipient of a good play here in a minute.
Fuentes double stacked on the right-hand side. Day-Day's going to follow him around the corner, turns upfield across midfield, down inside to about the 45-yard line, maybe the 46, but it's enough for a first down and to move the chains for the Tahlequah Tigers. And most importantly, that'll give them 4 more downs and eat more off that clock, down to 3:26, and it stopped while they moved the chains. 33-23 our score. Tahlequah Tigers leading the Fort Gibson Tigers at Fort Gibson on a beautiful night here. First night of football season here in Oklahoma. 4, 5A, and 4A and 3A Class A, 2A, they started last week. All right, so out of the shotgun, Simeon Armstrong. Receivers to either side. Double tight end stack again on the right-hand side. The defense moves, and Armstrong goes to the left. Cuts upfield, then cuts back the other way, turns the corner, and a flag comes in. We're going to see a hold by the Tahlequah Tigers, I think, at about the 45-yard line. But Armstrong got all the way out to about the 35 before being taken down.
He ran about 30 yards laterally and then cut upfield.
Yeah.
But he cut upfield twice, so he's doing what he needs to do right there, running some clock, moving the ball down the field.
And trying to hold on to the defender was one of the Tahlequah Tigers, and that's going to move it back. So the spot of the foul, it's about the 45-yard line. They'll take it back to the Tahlequah 45.
Stops the clock for Tahlequah. That's not a good thing right now. Tigers want that clock to keep moving.
And this will be now a 1st and 19. As they've got the ball at the 45 in Tahlequah territory. They got to get to the 36 for a first down in Fort Gibson territory. So you got a 1st and 19 for Tahlequah. 2 receivers right. They're looking to the sidelines. Now, what's cool about Tahlequah, there's 3 or 4 guys on the sideline, all the coaches that are sending in the plays. Only the players on the field know which one of them is calling the plays.
That's Jackson Smith and Hunter, or Jackson Jones and Hunter Smith out here on the right side.
Double tight end stack, 2 backs set in the field. Simeon back to pass. No, it's a handoff up the gut, and he's going to pick up a couple of yards out to about the 46, 47. Pick up 2. 2:22. They want to keep it on the ground here if they can, but they're going to have to make a first down and move the chains.
They're going to force Fort Gibson to try to stop the clock here at the end, and Fort Gibson being down 10 points, they might not even try.
They only have 1 timeout left. We only have 2. Down to the last 2 minutes of the game, 33-23, Tahlequah with the lead. And an opportunity to win this great rivalry season kickoff here. Simeon wrapped up and taken down. And they're wanting a horse collar, not going to get one, no flag.
Almost looked like a broken play back there, misexchanged or something like that.
I think so. Simeon cuts to the left and then starts to turn up field, stops and then goes again. And they grabbed him by the back of his shoulder pads, brought him down. I don't think it was a horse collar because they didn't pull him over backwards. They just grabbed him and went forward with him.
3rd and 20 for the Tigers coming up.
Remember the one we saw last year, the horse collar, where they grabbed the shoulder pads right behind the neck and literally took the feet out from underneath of the player. That was a 15-yarder right there. All right, 3rd and about 20.
Bad snap again. Simeon falls on it.
And that'll be at the 40-yard line. So now make that a 4th down and about 24 yards. We'll see the kicking team come in. This is where we need a spiral kick all the way to the corner.
That snap was just a little bit low. Hit Simeon right in the hands, and he just couldn't handle it. Went to the ground with it.
I haven't seen a whole lot of flags by the Tahlequah Tigers. I have seen almost a pick six, almost an interception, a couple of bobbled passes. Good running game by them tonight, but not a lot of penalties by the Tahlequah Tigers. A lot of them by the Fort Gibson Tigers we've seen tonight.
Lou, this is something that's unique, and knock on wood, you haven't seen any penalties on the offensive line tonight.
No,
they've not shot themselves in the foot at all. The penalties have come on a motion or something like that, and somebody in the backfield or on line.
And Brad Gilbert said some of the stuff we're going to see, it's going to be simplified, but there's going to be some trickery as well, and it's all there tonight.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll have to kick it away. Our punter is in there, standing at about the 27-yard line. So when he steps forward and makes his kick, it'll be from about the 30. But they mark it from the line of scrimmage. Here's the kick. Wow, not even wobbles. Just goes up, bounces, and he did not call a fair catch, and he got hit as soon as that ball got there. And I promise you, that guy's been sticking his hand up just barely. I promise you, the coaches for Tahlequah have told the referees a couple of times about it. If he's not going to raise his arm up in the air, you're going to get drilled like that right there. So hit it as soon as they caught the ball, and they're going to place it at about the 32. 58 seconds to go for the Fort Gibson Tigers. They're down by 10. Tahlequah is going to take home a win tonight.
That was number 52, Justin Hitchcock, initially on the tackle down there. Hit him as soon as he caught the ball. Justin is a big sophomore, 230-pounder at 6 foot 2 inches tall.
Next week, I'll be at Coweta at home at Doc Wadley Stadium. I'll need a life jacket for the press box.
Tigers defeated Fort Gibson, or defeated Coweta last year in the playoffs. First round.
Roll it out, passing it downfield, right through the hands of number 11 of Tahlequah. That's Cole Goodnight breaking that play up.
Oh,
had a wide receiver open. Number 3 right there is Tanner Christian. That's who Tanner Christian is. And he was wide open. Ball was slightly behind him and through the hands of Cole Goodnight. 51 seconds left for the Fort Gibson Tigers, down by 10. They have no timeouts left. Tahlequah has 2. There's no way Tahlequah would use either one of them. Can't think of a reason why.
Tigers just need to play safety right here and just keep everything in front of them and take care of winning the ball game.
Going deep down the right side, long pass. This one's tipped and bobbled. No pass interference there. It was over the head of the intended receiver, number 1, and one of the Tahlequah Tigers stopped his momentum to jump up for it. Number 1 finally got there and jumped up to tip it out of his hands as soon as he caught it. So an incomplete pass will make it 3rd down and 10 from the 32 for the Fort Gibson Tigers with 45 seconds left to go, and the clock stopped for them.
That was cool.
They can't afford to let the clock run, so we'll probably see passing plays for the next couple.
Yeah. Well, they've got to score quick and then score again, so
This game's over. We're going to win it.
It's 2 scores no matter how you look at it now.
Here's a handoff, straight up the gut, hit at the line of scrimmage from behind and backed up. Got probably positive yardage of about 2, but I think that'll probably be the final play of the game by the time they get the ball set and the team set. Game clock at 30 seconds. Play clock has not started moving yet. It's got 25 seconds left.
Blake Korn making the hit on that play right there and initially throwing him to the ground.
20 seconds left. The play clock is not even a factor at this point. And I think Fort Gibson is going to, now they start the play clock. Fort Gibson's going to let that clock run out. And they do. Final score is going to be Tahlequah Tigers 33, Fort Gibson Tigers 23. And that'll do it from here as the Tahlequah Tigers get the win over the Fort Gibson Tigers for the first time in 3 or 4 years and start their season off 1-0. A good start, but they got Coweta Tigers at home next week. Coach?
Tigers defeated Fort Gibson last year at home. 2 years ago here we lost.
Yep.
3 years ago at home.